When I was in probably grade 8, best friend Leanne Hollins, she and I loved the Spoons.
Okay, yeah.
Loved. And particularly loved Rob Preuss. I think he was my first musical crush.
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto. I love this song.
I was just thinking,
You guys can talk in the mic. It's okay.
I don't want to talk over your banging intro.
Well, you're Liza fucking Fromer. You can do that.
Goddamn right I am.
I always love the song.
Welcome to episode 1435 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Liza's already opened her can of premium lager. Holy smokes. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. The Advantaged Investor Podcast from Raymond James Canada. Valuable perspective for Canadian investors who want to remain knowledgeable, informed, and focused on long-term success. And Ridley Funeral Home. Pillars of the community since 1921. Today, returning to Toronto Mike to kick out more jams is Liza Fromer. Liza. How am I?
People actually
Liza,
call
I don't
me...
even know her.
Nice. People do call me Liza.
You know, Liza
The Brits.
Fromer is a better name. Have you considered changing it?
It's a British thing.
I haven't even cracked open my beer yet. So, okay, a couple of quick notes here. So, Liza. I'm going to introduce the guy beside you in a moment here, but a couple things. One is you did actually hit your head earlier. I was telling you a story about Ralph Benmergui yesterday slamming into the ceiling, and he was mad at me. I didn't have foam along it. And then, you know, we were kind of chatting, and then you did hit your head, right?
I was too excited.
You were too, because, okay, that's right.
You
were really
told
excited.
me, and then I immediately turned around and whacked my head.
And then you opened the beer in advance, too.
Okay,
And then I
thank you.
opened the beer in advance. I got to take a breath. God.
Right.
Before I introduce that third person on the microphone whose voice we just heard, I'm going to play a clip from the last time you visited me, Liza. Now I want to call you Liza. So, Liza, you were here in May 2023 to kick out the jams. And that was a long time coming because of the pandemic.
That's right.
But you were here, and I remember thinking as we were kicking out the jams, I'm like, I'm fucking loving this. Like, Liza was made to kick out jams, and it was great fun. But you dropped this detail, and then I picked up on it immediately. So let's listen to you. This is going all the way back to May 2023. This was Liza Fromer on Toronto Mic'd.
When I was in probably grade 8, best friend Leanne Hollins, she and I loved the Spoons.
Okay, yeah.
Loved. And particularly loved Rob Preuss. I remember waiting at Sam the Record Man in Kitchener in line to get an album signed.
Wow.
And then in the dead of winter, my dad and mom drove us to Hamilton from Kitchener to see the Spoons play in a celebrity volleyball charity match. Loved. Last night, for some reason, I was looking at my Twitter account and I was looking at something that I had posted about Lightfoot, I guess, and was seeing people who liked it. And all of a sudden I see Rob Preuss and I'm like, what? What? And I looked and yes, it's that Rob
Last
Preuss.
night.
And I was quite pleased with myself. I think he was my first musical crush.
Okay, now let me introduce Liza Fromer. Sitting to your right now is the one and only Rob Preuss.
What?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's been so long.
I know.
Wait, but you've never met, for the record.
No. Well, I mean, I suppose we have in so much as if I
signed something for you at some point.
me, and I don't think it was an album. I think
Yeah.
it was a poster.
Okay.
That I got signed. I misspoke before.
Amazing.
It's so good to meet you.
I must say I did a little research because I remember a year ago when Mike mentioned that because
last May.
Like the next episode, I think you talked about it. I was like, what? Who? What? And so I went back and listened and heard that little thing. I was like, that's really cool. And then he's been trying to get us together ever since.
Yes.
But then I also went back and listened to your first episode from 2016.
Yes.
which I thought was super cool too. Like, I did my research, did my due diligence.
Wow,
So catching up,
impressive.
because I was like, I'm going to meet you, but it's cool to know who you are and like things you've done and stuff too. But
Because
I
you're
like
just
to do
meeting
that as well.
not a rando here. This
Yeah.
isn't just one of the many, many Spoons fans who
Right.
loved Rob Preuss. This is Liza Fromer.
that's right.
Medium.
It's an honor. I'm honored.
You're
Legend.
both very kind. Are you going to open your beers? And
Oh yeah,
everything?
right.
so-
So you can
so
take
Rob-
another swing.
Did you hear me
I've just
say?
been waiting.
And then I'll try to get out of the way because I love this interaction here because I want Liza to speak further to what you meant to young Liza Fromer. Now and I also don't. There's not a lot of age difference here. Rob looks so much younger for his age. But Rob, what is your age?
Born in '65.
Born in '65.
Okay, I'm 70.
You're
Okay.
7.
No, yeah, she's 70 years old.
I'm 70 years
She
old.
looks fucking amazing.
So Mike's a young pup compared to us.
Yeah.
7-year-old Liza Fromer.
That's right,
Where's the
that's
time gone? Okay. I always thought she was a contemporary. Okay, so
we're gonna do
Rob,
ours.
hold on. We did
Yeah,
give
you do
instructions
yours
to Liza
probably.
to crack her beer open on the mic, right? And she just
And I
cracked
didn't.
it right
This'll
away.
just
So
mean
Take a
Keep
swig
drinking
while
it.
we crack.
all right, Rob. 3, 2,
Spilled over.
1.
There it is.
Spill that beer.
I already did spill it. Cheers.
Cheers. Prost.
Is
Prost.
Cheers.
that German?
Once again.
My-
Yeah.
For my Kitchener heritage.
That's right. Oh my God. Kitchener is the German heritage in Kitchener is deep.
It was called
Yeah.
Berlin, right? Before the
That's
war.
correct.
That's right.
First World War.
Okay. So talk amongst yourselves just for a bit, and then eventually we'll get to these jams.
Kitchener,
but I
Kitchener,
kind of want to
Kitchener.
soak in some Liza Fromer, Rob Preuss activity because it is amazing
Right.
that your first musical crush from the keyboardist from Spoons
Just happens to be a guy you know.
happens to be a guy who visits me once a month. Like
Yeah,
I just said, oh
regularly.
wow.
The other question I have, because you were my first like parasocial rock star crush.
Really?
But my first like celebrity crush was a tie between the Fonz and
yeah.
the $6 Million Man. Do
Amazing.
you know either
Perfect.
of those people?
Henry Winkler's a good guy. I think he'd do Toronto.
I met him once
Oh, tell me
Really?
that
at the
story.
stage door when I was doing Mamma Mia on Broadway, and somebody in the cast knew him, and he was like, and so our backstage is the door on like the block is between Broadway and 7th Avenue. So the stage door is on the other side, and people would just come in the little waiting area when you exit.
Right.
And he was just standing there one time. I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." He was this tall.
Oh, really?
It was super cool though, like because
Oh,
it was
he's
like
not
the
a tall
Fonz.
guy.
No, but yeah. So you love the Fonz.
I loved the Fonz and the $6 Million Man. But then when I hit middle school, baby,
Pop music.
Bruce.
Pop music took over.
yes.
Okay.
So my friend Leanne was full new wave.
Yeah.
She had the haircut, the asymmetrical haircut.
I had that haircut, too.
Yeah. You had some
I
haircuts.
had some. Yeah. My hairline was like here when I was 16, 17, of course.
And
That's
you
right.
had the good eyeliner.
I was good at doing the eyeliner.
Did you do your own eyeliner?
I sure did.
Really?
I got really good at it because Sandy had all the makeup, and so we took pride in doing ourselves. Sometimes Sandy would give Derek some blush and
Wait,
stuff.
I'm watching. Liza's glowing because she's talking to her like the
Right.
crush she had
Well,
as
we're
a young.
channeling our inner child.
It's 1983 in my heart right
That's
now.
right.
Right, so you're like 13 years old,
Yeah,
and
about 13.
yeah, because you told me 70.
amazing.
And I did that math. I'm good at math, and then I'm witnessing this moment, and you're glowing, you're talking, and now you can ask all those questions. You know, when you're like 13 and you're crushing on someone, like I had all these questions for Samantha Maselli on Who's the Boss, but I never had the opportunity. To,
It might still happen.
But now
could
you can,
happen.
Like who did your eye makeup? Like when you were on Toronto Rocks, and
All the questions. Oh, so
John Major asked you this.
my other due diligence was the fact that you mentioned the volleyball thing.
Yeah, talk
You
about
were
that.
there.
Yep.
So I have another good friend who was a fan in the day, but we've been friends for 40 years now. She was there, and she has photographs.
No.
Way. So I thought I had them on my computer, so I texted her this
Imagine
morning.
you
I
made a
said,
photo of young
"Can you send me
Liza."
these photos?"
I won't be in the photos. I
I'm going to show
maybe,
you. I don't
but-
know. But like this is not for the listening audience. This is just for us to talk about and laugh at. But this
I
was
have to get my glasses.
okay. Get your glasses.
Watch your head.
Because I was
I'll show
born
Mike,
in
too.
1970.
I know I got glasses and I was born in '65, so I got a head start.
So yeah, there was a wild snowstorm.
Yes, I remember because it was the thing that we did with the DJs from CKOC, right?
Sure.
That's
yes,
what it was.
Yes.
And we had just released our album Talkback, I believe, because I'm looking at us now and we're like wearing these goofy T-shirts. Baby Rob.
Okay, so right now Liza's looking at photos on Rob's phone. Photos
May I-
from
may-
this
may I take a
yeah.
photo?
event.
Because I'm like, is that me in the background?
Do you remember? Were you sitting like there's?
We
I
might
feel
be
like we were
spotting
sitting- I thought
Liza
that
in the
could be,
background of these
but no, it's-
photos.
Here, wait, let me
This
show
is
you some
exciting.
others because there's like pictures of the crowd, like here. DJs from CKOC. We'll edit this. We'll edit the silence out later.
Sandy
Oh yeah, right.
was the most beautiful, stylish, interesting Sandy Horn.
With her poodle haircut.
Oh my God.
Me and Derek. I saw Derek last night. He says hello.
Oh, hello.
So-
Later, I'm gonna have to scan that crowd shot.
Somebody with a nice sign that says "I heart Rob." Come on now.
Yeah, I'm like, is that me?
You might find yourself
Could
in the
that
crowd.
be?
Liza, did you make any signage for that event?
I don't
I heard Rob.
remember.
It was
Is that your
only
sign?
41 years ago.
But that that could be me.
41 years
I'm
Isn't that
trying
funny?
to see if there's any.
Oh, we got to enhance.
Of my
Zoom in and
We'll,
enhance.
we'll post it on your blog, Mike. I'll send you these pics.
Well, yeah, I need these photos. That's
or
absolute.
if somebody recognizes that, or is
I always think it's funny when you see old pictures and you think it could
Moose
be you in a
Grumpy
picture.
says it's scary that there might be photo evidence of this. Like, this is a moment that we might have photo
later,
evidence.
Can
I'll
you
them
send
to
me
you.
those?
Yes, of course. I'll text them to
Just even
Yeah.
if I'm not in them, just to have.
you. Sure. I know. It's so funny.
My dad, both my parents drove us, and it was me and I think two girlfriends.
Yeah.
My friend Leanne, who was my bestie,
Yep.
and another girl, Kim. I think we brought flowers. Probably. I think that was the thing to do.
Sure.
Maybe.
That's funny.
And yeah, we went through the storm, and to this day, my dad will say, "What am I looking at?"
Oh, there's a live stream.
Oh, here, I'll
so
hold
I'm
it up to the
showing
live
it to the camera.
There's a live
Yeah.
stream?
So that camera is live. Before you pick
I
your
don't
nose
think
or
I knew
something. I might not have told you. I can't remember. So much happened. We're not recording the video. It's okay. We'll find out. So it's fascinating. So Liza, this is a personal question, but have you always been dirty blonde, or perhaps were you a brunette back then?
Hard to say. Back in,
Back
I
then?
think dirty blonde, probably still in middle school. More brown.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just got my mom. I'm thinking
Yep.
of my mom. My mom, I've never seen her as a brunette, but I saw a photo of her as a girl guide when she was 14, and she had my hair color, before I went white. She had my hair color, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's been dyeing her hair since she was 16 years old, my mom.
funny.
So I'm like, oh, some people do that.
My mother would get some peroxide and a Q-tip,
you go.
and put peroxide on strands of hair with the Q-tip.
On your hair? That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay, shout out to those on the live stream before we're
Hi,
going to
live stream.
get to the jams, and then we're going to catch up, and I have some lovely notes for Liza, and I'm just dying to hear more interaction between you two as we kick out Liza's jams here. It's going to be amazing. But hello to Mark Weisplot. Hello
Hi, Mark.
to Basement Dweller.
Happy-
Hello to Deb. Hello, Deb. I'm not sure. Deb, tell me if I know you.
Oh, that might be my friend Deb because
Okay.
who sent me the photos.
Oh.
I told Deb to tune
What a
in.
world we live in.
Yep.
Rob, do you realize the person who took these photos,
Yes.
and that was a volleyball game?
Yep.
And that crowd's not a huge crowd. How
No,
many
it's just a
people
high
came
school
out?
gym or something.
So how many people came out approximately? I know you won't
100?
have a number.
Yeah, I'd say
100 people.
yeah.
So
100,
Liza's
150.
1% of that crowd is Liza Fromer.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, wow. Jeremy Hopkin, hello to you. Hello to Leslie. Hello to Mike Hannafin. He's a good FOTM. And hello, of course, to Moose Grumpy. And yeah, Deb says hi, guys. Okay, and Jeremy says hi, hi, Rob and Liza. And
Hey.
Basement Dweller says Oliver Stone should be filming this. So lots of fun
Yes.
here. So
Yeah.
let's get to the first jam, because I try to get to the jams earlier now, although I know we've just wasted about 20 minutes before we got to the jam. But let's get to Liza's
Wasted.
first jam. So an important question for Liza Fromer.
Yeah.
Liza, are you ready to kick out the jam?
Hell yeah.
Do you remember the jams you chose?
Ish. I meant to look at them and review again before I came, and then I didn't.
You look pleasantly surprised there. It's like, oh, I like the song.
The minute this song starts, because I never hear it, I'm like, oh. Right? Where's level 42?
Level 47 now. Or maybe level 23. Goddamn.
That a love carved out of caring, fashioned by fate, would suffer so hard from the games played once too often. But making mistakes is a part of life's imperfections. On all the years, is it so wrong to be human after all?
I love that theme.
Level 42, Something About You.
Doesn't it just make you? It just makes me feel happy, that song.
It's that. I mean, it's our era, right?
Yeah.
And I always feel like the magic of pop music is, like you said, like as soon as an intro of a song starts, you're like, ah.
And it's a physical, it's a physiological reaction. Oh, and there's an excitement and a relaxed feeling.
Yeah. You don't even need the whole damn song.
No.
Sometimes you just need to hear the beginning part of a song.
Mm-hmm.
It sends you right back. I mean, it does it for me, it does it for everybody.
That's music's a time machine.
That's what music
Takes
is.
you right back.
And the best thing is if you like music all through your life, you have all these eras to go through as well, right? Like a song like this, I have instant memories of like where I was at that time, what I was doing.
Yep.
And then, mixed in with that song on the radio, which I think, we all do.
That's why I still love the radio as well.
I know.
So you'll still listen to the radio because the radio does this thing where they stop down for like 3 minutes and air these advertisements, but you can still, you're okay with that.
I'm old school, baby. And I like the surprise of it. Like if this
you
happens
don't know
to
what's
come
coming
on
up
the
next,
radio, I love the surprise of it.
Do you have a favorite radio station in the GTA?
Well, obviously having worked for Q, that always
You don't
stays.
have to stay loyal your whole life,
I
Liza.
can't help it. And I still listen to them all the time. You know who I think is amazing, though, in this city is 88.1.
Oh, Indy.
Oh, yeah.
Indie 88.
Yeah. I like that too.
They are a fantastic... From almost the day they went on the air, I thought, this station gets it.
Yeah.
They get...
They are changing. I've noticed changes in the playlist.
I have lately, too.
Like, I was in the car just driving my kid to hockey, and suddenly they played Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, which is a fine song, right? A big hit from We Remember, but like it didn't seem like the kind of song I would typically hear on Indie 88, Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, I do feel like they are going into that a little bit more where they're playing some of the older songs,
Boomification.
90s. Yeah.
Which Q has also been boomified. Like Q would never play Duran Duran's Rio or whatever, and suddenly they will because of Boom. I think Boom had great success.
Yeah,
doing
and
this
I do
kind of
listen
thing.
to Boom.
Yeah, of course you do. This Boom is made for people like you, Rob, and I, for sure.
All of
Yep.
us. Yep.
They're playing level 42 on Boom.
But I wouldn't say it's a homogenization, but it's like going where the crowds are. And like if you listen to the radio for new music, you might be harder pressed to have the patience to listen through commercials because you still don't know what you're getting.
Right.
But if you want the comfort food of the music of our life, that's like, the oldies, like
The music
what used
of your
to be,
life.
Yeah.
That was CJCL
I
before I went
know.
all sports.
What
Listen
used
to
to-
episode 1430.
What was the oldie stations always, right? Like my parents would listen to the radio stations that would play like Elvis and
Yep.
Dean Martin and that stuff. And for us now, it's like our
Tony
music.
We're oldies.
We're the oldies now, and it's crazy, but that's what it is because who cares? It's still music and it's still timeless, So the fact, but like I've always loved the fact that Q107 now will play such a variety. When I think back to those days, we never expected to get played on Q107. Like we were like
Right.
CFNY is going to play us. Once we started getting onto the radio, like onto pop charts, we'd still get played on CFNY. Chum FM started playing us, but we still never even considered Q107 because it was still a rock station.
Q107 was never going to play Spoons.
No.
No.
But at some point they
But they
did
wouldn't
later
play
on.
like U2. They wouldn't play like...
Yeah, they were very specific back in the day
Yeah.
with the mandate. We are a rock station. That's
What
why
year were you with Q?
in 1990, I started there as a volunteer.
Okay. You drove a truck or a van or something.
I drove.
That's right.
Yeah, the community cruiser.
That's amazing.
Loved it. Ate my weight in Schneider's hot rods because they were the sponsor, and I was broke.
That's my dream job.
I was working 7 days a week for reals, like 7 days a week doing reports.
Eating Schneider's hot rod.
Eating Schneider's hot rods, giving out prizes, and I got to. I almost flipped that van once or twice because the original van was like a big old Chevy.
Yeah.
I put a hole in the back of it at the top, backing into like a drain pipe or something. Yeah, but that was great. But as far as I listened to Q, Indie 88, Boom, 97.7.
Hits FM.
I like
Got a
what
new
they
owner now.
do. Really? Who are
Yeah,
they?
well, because that was one of the 45 stations Bell sold last week, and the station the company that bought it, I looked into them. They're known for like Christian programming, but then I saw a quote from somebody there that says they don't plan to change the format of. So it sounds like Hits 97.3 just keeps on rocking in the free world.
Rocking in the free world. That's a song. It should
Shout
be a
out to
song.
Neil Young.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Or is
Neil.
that a song?
I'm kidding.
Okay, I'm getting mad at Rob.
He's
Hey,
coming.
Rob,
He's coming to my neighborhood to play this summer in Queens.
Neil?
Two nights at Forest
Yeah,
Hill
he's coming
Stadium.
to
Neil
he's coming to the Budweiser stage in May. I want to say,
Nice.
Crazy Horse. So, Rob, I got a question that came in from FOTM Mike. Not a question, like a comment comment for Liza Fromer from Mike Hannafin. But first, let's just tell the people that you were here 2 days ago.
I was here 2 days ago.
So this is the closest we've seen each other, like 2 days apart.
Hours. Yeah, and that was 10 a.m. we were here.
Oh, okay. So quick on that note. So I thought it was an excellent episode of Toast. How was your feelings about that episode?
I thought it was excellent too. It was beautifully. What was that?
It was hauntingly beautiful. And I thought it was a great one. It was really good.
What does toast mean?
So it's simply, I did this thing during the pandemic with Stu Stone, who's my guest tomorrow, by the way, and Cam Gordon called Pandemic Fridays. So we got together once a week during the pandemic, and we would have thematic jam kickings. So it might be, for example, what's our next topic? Oh, yeah. So our next topic is going to be songs we dig from bands we're not supposed to dig. So
that's a hard one.
Yeah, so
it's gonna be fun.
Like basically bands it's not cool to like. Like it's kind of
like Nickelback.
You're not, right, okay. So let's say I kick out How You Remind Me.
The cliche band you're not allowed to like.
Yep. So I might say I love How You Remind Me by Nickelback. I would kick that out and it would be a song I dig by a band I'm not supposed to dig. Okay, sort of like guilty pleasures, but almost.
So we each pick 3 songs.
So we pick 3 songs each, and we go in order and kick them out, and we comment on each other's songs, and we bring fun facts and mind blows regarding the song. Like, did you know that this song was written 3 years earlier by Chad Kroeger?
And this is what you did 2 days ago?
Yeah. So we did
What was your big?
We did the Hauntingly Beautiful songs.
So
that's
our
next topic.
Yeah, our next topic. Every month they come back. So Toast is the replacement. That's where I was going. Toast was the replacement for Pandemic Fridays because I decided the pandemic was over and we needed to move on. So we changed it to a monthly thing called Toast. But then at some point, my original Toast co-stars, you're really bored by this. This is a long, boring story. But Cam Gordon and Stu Stone, they went elsewhere. And I decided I didn't want to stop recording Toast just because these 2 guys had other stuff to do. So I decided who would I like to replace Cam Gordon and Stu Stone. I called them Coy and Vance because Coy and Vance came to Dukes of Hazzard to replace Bo and Luke Duke. Do you have any memory of this? Do you have any memory of this?
Now that you say it, I do. I don't think I watched it with the cousins.
Right. Okay, yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. But there was some negotiation thing and they wanted more money, whatever.
But you named us Coy and Vance.
Coy and Vance. And Coy and Vance is Bob Willett and Rob Preuss. And they come over once a month and we kick out these jams and we have the best time. But quick, this is where I'm going with this before I get to the next. Well, I'll get to Mike Hannafin's note and then we get to the next Liza jam, which is Bob Willett shared that toast on his Facebook page and somebody complained about us singing that song for Live Fumka. Oh. Because, of course, it's terrible, but it was meant to be terrible because it's only intended to make Live Fumka, I almost called her Liza. It was only intended to make Live Fumka smile and feel some joy for a moment because she's going through a super shitty time.
Yeah.
Okay.
A spot of brightness.
Yes, that was the whole point of that. And then I saw Bob very quickly distance himself. He wrote a comment back saying, "Not my idea." Like he wanted to and I wrote a comment, 100% my idea, and I do it again.
I went with you on that. Yeah, for sure. You had good intentions. I appreciated your intentions.
I would do it again. Yeah. Liza's like, what's going on here? Okay, so Mike Hannafin, who is on the radio in this market as well. He's in BC now, so I hope he's listening live. Not sure if this is appropriate for your upcoming episode with Liza Fromer, but I met Liza once at a media gathering when she was working at Breakfast Television, and I was, for one of the few times in my life, practically speechless. I was never speechless interviewing Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Roger Clemens, or any athlete, but Liza Fromer? Frozen. Such a lovely person and great broadcaster, almost too nice for this business.
Well, that just made my day. Thank you.
That was very nice.
That's so nice.
This is your life, Liza Fromer.
That would be early 2000s then that we met. Because I was at 01 to 06 at Breakfast Television. I'm going to be back there on March 4th, Monday.
You're asking me like I know. Okay. So
just for a day hosting.
We'll get back to Breakfast Television because there was Blair wrote a couple of questions and one is actually tied to Breakfast. Is Blair the individual who made that great image? I believe so.
Yes.
The one on Twitter?
The one I retweeted.
Yes. He can do those.
Really?
Boom.
That's
that
amazing.
Fast. He's great with those.
Okay, so thank you, Blair, for that Photoshop.
That picture was from me in Ottawa. I do remember that specifically. It was a summertime gig in Ottawa. Yeah, because I've seen it. Like I think it existed on Facebook or something, so he grabbed it for sure.
Oh, I can't wait to kick out this jam. I'm doing it now. This is the best second jam Liza chose. You ready?
Obvi.
Oh, for God's sake. I know this song.
This is making me a little bit blunt all of a sudden, hearing it start and you sitting there.
That's me.
This guy co-wrote that song.
That's right.
You did?
Co-writing credit.
I can see the video now.
So can
I
I.
can see my hair.
Exactly.
I can see that red jacket.
In the subway system.
The best Spoons video ever is Romantic
It keeps
Traffic.
Yes, it
keeps
is.
getting put on these lists of like iconic Toronto videos.
Yeah, it
And it's-
totally is.
even
There's
though
a
we're
red rocket in that one.
I mean, we're a band from Burlington, but I guess we'll own the Toronto connection because we were lucky to be able to do the video.
It's so close, right?
Exactly. Yep.
It's close enough.
Thank you. Thank you.
Liza, what do you want to say about this song,
Well,
Romantic Traffic?
As I was babbling over the top of it, it's giving me like a little moment of emotion. Like, because when I was a kid, this would come on and it was like, and you know, when you're 13 and you're just, you know,
Of course.
it all means so much to you, your music and your crushes. And then here's Rob Preuss sitting
And we-
right beside me.
And it's good because it's the intro, like we talked about the intro of a song. As soon as
Yeah.
the song starts, you're like, there it is. That's what I've been waiting for.
So what part did you write?
The whole thing. No, I don't know.
You don't
it's-
know? What do you mean you don't
No,
know?
I mean, Gord and I wrote it
Then
together.
who knows?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would give Gord the credit as the lyricist, but it's this song and Tell No Lies, we kind of wrote together, like at the same moment of time we were rehearsing and kind of trying to find new songs to record. And I always remember the moment of us hanging out in the rehearsal room, kind of running through those songs, and like as they were sort of unfolding naturally, we were like, this is cool, we got 2 new songs, because we were trying to find new songs to record.
And 2 new catchy, great songs.
And they both ended up being like really our last, I mean, as far as Derek and I being in the band, they were the last songs that we released as new music, really. But our record company wasn't going to release our album Talkback in the States. They were like, we don't really hear a single. And we were like, really? Because Old Emotions is already going up the charts in Canada. So
wow.
screw you. And it turned out that it was like a whole weird contractual thing that ended up happening. They never released the album. But in the meantime, we had decided that we'll do these 2 songs and maybe they'll like them and they'll release them. And they still didn't. So
They didn't.
They still didn't. No. So
Wow.
America lost out on the magic of Romantic Traffic.
Talk
But-
about dropping the ball on
But at the same time, Sandy had been involved, getting involved in making this movie called Listen to the City, which was an indie film by Ron Mann. And it turned out that Gord was going to do the soundtrack as well. So we stuck these 2 songs onto the soundtrack for Listen to the City. So it was never on Talkback. We created them with the intention of putting them on Talkback in America. We went down to New York with Nile Rodgers and recorded these 2 songs.
with Nile Rodgers.
Yeah, because he had produced the whole album.
Is this recording done with Nile Rodgers?
He had the power station in New York.
No way.
The background singers doing all the doot-doot-doots, they're these guys called the Sims Brothers, and they sang with Bowie on Let's Dance. So we were lucky to be in Niall's world, which had been ever expanding since we did the record with him. So yeah, the guys singing on there were these guys who sang with Bowie on the road and stuff.
Extraordinary.
But yeah, and it's funny that subsequently as music history has gone on, Romantic Traffic has become a larger song for the band as a distant memory. But at the time, it wasn't a huge hit on the charts. Like I looked at it recently, and it didn't make a top. I don't think it got in the top 20 or 10 anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird. But I think the video lived on. The video is the thing that sort of kept the song alive because Much Music was brand new. This was the brand new video. We used to go on Toronto Rocks.
Yeah.
You know, with John Major and do all the shows. And this song kind of lived on more in the video than the radio, I think, which is weird to me now because people talk about the song so much and I think, oh yeah, it must have been a huge hit, but I don't think it was.
Sims Brothers also on Like a Virgin, according to
Yes, that's right.
Dweller.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, that's huge.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw and heard that song everywhere
I know.
at the time.
Yeah.
But maybe that was it. And also because there was was there much music by the time that came
Yes.
out?
Yeah.
Oh, there was.
Early days though.
84, right?
Yep.
84.
Yep.
starts.
So it was
Because I'd watch Toronto Rocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was the one
Video
that
hits.
Video
With
Samantha
hits.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stu Jeffries did one.
Good Rockin' Tonight.
Good
There was one
Rockin'
on
Tonight.
CFMT called
Samantha.
it was with, because I know Jay Gold was a host of it. It was
Okay.
called Your Something.
Your videos.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I actually
know.
later, maybe during one of the songs, like I have a poster I'll bring out during one of the jams.
Yeah.
of like this period, like in '85, who were the
Yep.
big VJs? And you guys minds will be blown with the thing. I want to say hello to 2 newcomers on the live stream. Well, first of all, hello to Cambrio who showed up,
Kim.
but he's been on before. But here are 2 people who've never been on before, and one of them I know so well from the live streams I used to do for Hebsy on Sports. So Wayne and Lethbridge, Wayne, welcome to your first Toronto Mike live stream. It took Liza Fromer to get you to come out, but it's because something
Hey,
else.
Wayne.
Something else was the video show on CFMT.
Yeah.
Wiseblood just pointed it out to me.
okay.
It's good to have this two-way.
I don't
But
remember that
Gordo 44 has a romantic traffic story. Gord played at his friend's wedding in 2002 at the Old Mill.
Yeah.
Short bike ride from here, the Old Mill. Gord played tons of 80s songs and Nova Heart and Romantic Traffic. And he says, Wardo says, I was the best man. And the wedding party jumped on the mics and sang the doo-doos. Singing backup on my favorite song with Gord was awesome.
Awesome. That's cool.
There you go. There's a little fun story from a newcomer to the live stream.
And weren't you so young when you
Yeah.
were with the Spoons?
Well, when Nova Heart was on the radio, I was 16.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Did you drop out of school?
No, I graduated. I finished grade 12. Like,
No way.
I joined the band when I was in grade 11, and I'd already been in bands like since I was 10. And when I joined the Spoons, I'd already been in bands for a couple years. And I always remember like that yearbook, everybody signing the yearbook, because we had done our first album when I was in grade 11. And so at the end of the year, and people were like, good luck with the Spoons, have a great summer, and that was the summer of 81.
Okay.
So, and I was 16. I was going to turn 16 in 81. And so we had done our first album when I was 15. We recorded it with Daniel Lenoir in Hamilton at his studio.
Wow, another
And-
name drop. Wow.
Name drop. Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, so when we did Romantic Traffic, I was 17 or 18. So yeah.
Holy
Crazy.
gosh.
So that's why
That is crazy.
yeah, but I feel like that's why I connected with the crowds too. Like we would do record signings and meet everybody.
I said that to Liza. Did
Yeah.
you listen back? I said that because I didn't include it in the clip because we talked a little bit more about Rob Preuss in your second visit, Liza. But I was telling you, part of the reason you were probably into Rob Preuss was he was closer to your age. He was so much younger than Sandy and Gord.
Maybe. I don't know if I thought about that. the hair.
We were timeless.
The 1983 hair,
The
baby.
eyeliner, the hair,
The
I
eyeliner, the whole
It fit in.
rock star
Well, and it was the
thing.
Nick Rhodes look. Like we all had the look,
the
right?
Nick
It was
Rhodes
Nick
look.
Rhodes. We all sort of borrowed the idea from David Sylvian from Japan, who sort of got it from Bowie. And like you can follow the trends that went along at the time. And
Right.
I would see pictures of David Sylvian and go, "That's the hair I want." And I think at the same time, Nick Rhodes was looking at David Sylvian going, "That's the hair I want as well." So
I don't know him. I got to look him up.
David Sylvian. Oh, he's the lead singer of a band called Japan.
And that's what you
I
were listening to
vaguely
when you
know
came here
Japan.
Tuesday. And I know Marsden's a big Japan guy.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
he's here in early March.
And our
Okay.
producer, John Punter, who did Nova Heart and did Arias and Symphonies, he produced 2 Japan albums as well. So,
wow.
which is why when we worked with John, we were like, this is the coolest thing ever. Because we just wanted to like sort of be able to kind of find our own sound, but with a producer who has done magical records like that.
Why the name The Spoons?
Well,
and that predates you, though, Rob.
it predates me by a year because they were.
Because you're not the original keyboardist.
No, they had another guy who left before I joined because he left. But I saw them play a couple times actually because I was a big fan when I was 14 in Burlington. They were like the local new wave band. And
New wave.
Yep, and a friend of mine was his older brother was one of their managers. So before I even joined the band, I had their posters all over my bedroom walls because they would do gigs and I'd never seen them.
Yep.
And then finally at the end of grade 10, they were doing a gig in Hamilton opening for Martha and the Muffins. So the last day of school, my friend and I took the bus from Burlington into Hamilton and saw them open for Martha and the Muffins. And then like 4 months later, I joined the band. Crazy.
That's wild. It's wild. Did Liza Fromer have Spoons posters on her wall?
I'm sure the one that I'm trying to. I can vaguely picture the one. I feel like it was kind of blue and yellow.
Well, there was a talk. That was the cover of Talkback, and then there was a poster
Yeah.
inside the record. You might have
I
had
think
that.
that's what I had signed is the
Wow.
poster inside the record, and then I'm sure I would have either put it on a bulletin board
Yeah,
or
right.
taped it to the wall.
Yep.
All right, so I'm getting to this third jam because we can talk between jams, and I love the conversation. How does your Great Lakes beer taste, Liza Fromer?
Excellent. It's at least halfway done already.
You got a lager? Okay, and Rob, you
My
enjoying your
lager.
Great Lakes?
Very nice as well.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm drinking a Burst here. Thank you to Great Lakes Brewery for sending over the beer. And Liza, can I send you home with a large meat lasagna from Palma Pasta?
Absolutely.
Did you enjoy the one last May?
Yes, and I have a 17-year-old son who is about to go off to university and has an appetite.
Oh boy.
Look, I know. What university?
We don't know yet. He's
Okay,
been
we don't know yet.
accepted to my alma mater,
Which is?
Ryerson. When I went there, of course, now Toronto Metropolitan University
TMU.
and Guelph.
Okay.
We're waiting on Queens and Western.
Nice.
Look at this.
Good choices.
These are great universities.
Yeah, not bad, right?
But would we say, if he said, oh, Lakehead, we'd go, oh, that's a shitty school. Your kid's better than that. No, all these universities are great.
Wherever they want to go, I'm happy.
Right. Okay. Let's kick this out. This is not new wave. And I'm curious to hear what Rob thinks of this song, because I don't know what Rob thinks of this trio. Here we go.
You know it.
Not yet.
Know it?
Not yet.
Really? What?
You're going to learn something, Liza. He's got blind spots.
No.
He's a Broadway guy.
Is it the Beastie Boys?
Yes.
Okay, well, that was a guess because you said trio.
Okay, so on that note, though, how do you miss the Beastie Boys? Is it because you're living on Broadway and you're from a new wave era?
No, but I love the Beastie Boys. I don't love them enough to have listened to them so incessantly that I know all their songs.
Doesn't sound like love to me.
No. You know what I love, though? They did an audiobook. They released it's called the Beastie Boys book, which was a photo, like diary, journal, history of the band.
You can see this on Apple TV. You can watch the...
The coolest thing, though, is the audiobook version of the book they released, and they're telling the stories with musical clips and stuff, and I love that. But... yeah, I don't recognize them off the top of my head. I love the one album. What's it called?
Check Your Head?
Maybe.
Or License to Ill? License to Ill was the first big one.
Check Your Heads up here. License to Ill, Paul's Boutique.
Paul's Boutique is the one.
Yeah, that's the sample one.
That's the only one I owned.
Yep.
That's all I
It's got Hey Ladies on it.
Yeah.
That's got Hey Ladies. I love everything about them. Every, 6 months or every year, I'll just go and watch them perform Sabotage on Letterman because it's one of the
I remember that.
best performances I've ever seen because they just give it all.
Yep.
In that performance. And the Beasties, well, did I tell this story last time when I was here? Because I also had the
Tell
Beasties
it again.
in here.
We like the greatest hits.
When I was 17, I worked at Fairview Park Mall in Kitchener at Hackett's, which was like a high-end sporting goods store, shoes, tennis rackets. And so I'd work after high school or after class. And when the manager would leave, who was probably 23, the very old manager, me and the other people who worked there who were in high school would pop in License to Ill and just blast Fight for Your Right.
Of course. I remember seeing the video. That's one of those songs I have the vivid memory of that showing up on Much Music and being like this is something new.
Yeah. Well,
crazy.
I'm also a huge Beastie Boy fan like Liza here, and Check Your Head is my favorite Beastie Boy album, but I do love most of them, and they were a big deal. But I also knew as I was kicking it out, I said, I don't think Rob's going to recognize this song.
Not off the top, but only
But I mean, because you weren't listening to what I would call alt rock radio in the 90s.
No.
That's not you weren't tuned into these stations that would play the hell out of this song.
No.
Much like Sabotage.
Yeah, no, I mean, in the 90s, once I got into the world of musical theater, I stayed connected to the pop music world, but much more just listening to CFNY and listening to Radiohead and Jeff Buckley and stuff like that.
But I will say CFNY, which was Edge 102 at that time, or 102.1 The Edge, I got them both confused. But they absolutely did play Beastie Boys.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I wasn't.
They played
the
this.
Edgewood.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a huge hippity hop fan in the first place. So Beastie Boys was the edge of it for me, as far as what I would listen to or choose to listen to.
Right.
So if it came on the radio, there's a chance I might have just turned it off.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
do I have Public Enemy on this list?
I don't want to spoil anything, but I will tell you.
Public Enemy too.
Do you?
I do like Public Enemy.
Public Enemy is my favorite hip hop band of all time.
Because I know
Not
I
even
thought
close.
about putting it on the list, and I can't remember if I put it or
we'll
not.
Find out.
We'll find out.
Quick Hackett's note from Wardo44. He says that's a name from the past. They said they had a Sherway location too, so there was a Hackett's at Sherway Garden.
The name is vaguely familiar.
Hackett's was a nice
I don't remember it at all.
Yep.
It was Bata owned it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Bata Shoe Source.
Shout out to the Shoe Museum at St. George and Bloor. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to read another note for Liza here before we get to the next jam. These are nice notes that came in. This is Blair. So 2 questions from Blair. One, I hope you'll answer this honestly. I think this is an interesting question. Why is such a bright light in Toronto's media landscape not gracing our airwaves?
Well, I don't know that I can answer that as well as Toronto media could answer that. But, it's a tough time out there, as you just said, with CTV canceling a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Bell is reducing the size of its media operations.
But I am doing a day on BT on March the 4th, if that's the Monday.
March the 4th. Okay, that's Blair's second question, which is, would Liza have been open? And I know the answer because I literally asked you this question last time you were here because you had just appeared for a week on breakfast television with Sid Sixero there. Yep. The question is, would Liza have been open to returning to breakfast television full time if offered the role after the departure of Dina Pugliese?
Sure. I mean, I would absolutely consider it because I loved it. I think they made the absolute right choice with Meredith. She's great. And bringing me back would be, I don't know. It's a bit of a been there, done that.
A little bit of a been there, done that.
And I totally get that. Perhaps there'll be something else that develops along the line. Who knows? We'll see.
You never know.
Yep.
Okay, for what it's worth, Liza, I lobbied long and hard for you to be the successor to Dina on breakfast television, and I think I told you as much, but I believe that job should have gone to you. And Meredith Shaw is also an FOTM. She sat down here. We had a great chat, and I like Meredith very, very much. But I believe that job should have gone to Liza Fromer. So I'm just throwing that out there into the universe.
Thank you. Okay. Well, I'll be back, from time to time, and then, there might be something else that spins out of that.
Will you tell me about it after we finish recording? Or is this just
I'm not saying there is something.
Oh, I thought maybe you were teasing something.
Oh, no, you know that I'll come straight to you when there's something to tell. Yeah.
And I'll give you lasagna for the scoop, okay? That'll be the deal. You get a lasagna for the scoop and some beer. All right. Oh, and I have a measuring tape for you. So Liza Fromer, sorry, Rob. No, Rob, you hand it to her. She'd appreciate that more. I'm not her
We should customize it, though, with the hashtag.
I'm not her musical crush, okay? No, exactly. Hand that over to Liza Fromer. This is a gift from Ridley Funeral Home.
We should give it the custom logo, though, which we've all been modifying our measuring tapes. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been modifying our Ridley Funeral Home measuring tapes to put a hashtag. What are you measuring there, Liza? Holy smokes. Okay.
Nothing, but you gave me one of these before, and I, in fact, did use it already.
Give it to your son to bring to university because when he's
What's he measuring?
But when he's figuring out how to fit stuff into his room, when he's moving out,
That's right.
Okay. That's better than I was hoping. Okay. So, thank you to Ridley Funeral Home. Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. And, the hashtag SORFH has been...
SORF.
Shout out Ridley Funeral Home. All right. On that note, I think we could probably shout out Ridley Funeral Home for somebody on this jam here, but let's kick out...
Oh.
We've got a lot of slow jams.
This is a good song.
Maybe you want to dance with Rob Preuss. Just watch your head.
Do you want to hear... Should I be talking over the music?
Yeah, it's your show. These are your jams. You can talk over
the one other 80s, when you said I should be dancing with Rob Preuss, on the morning show on Global, I remember... I don't know if it was still middle school as well. Maybe. Spandau Ballet,
of
True.
Course. Yeah.
Of course.
That would still be early.
83.
That was when at the school dance, I think, please God, let someone that I like ask me dance to True.
Really?
Please. I'd be thinking the night before.
That's awesome.
And then cut to 30 years later, whatever it was, and Spandau Ballet, I don't remember why, was on the show. And at the very end of the show, I said to the lead singer, will you 80 slow dance with me to True? And he was like, yeah, I will.
Oh.
So I got to dance with Spandau Ballet guy.
PM
amazing.
Dawn sampled it for a big hit. Set Adrift on Memory Bliss, as I recall. But that's a great song. And shout out to Canada Kev, who has joined the live stream. So smoke him if you got him. Liza, do you smoke weed?
It's a funny thing. I smoked cigarettes from time to time throughout my life. I can't smoke weed. It makes me choke. So I go more gummy / tincture if I am going to enjoy some, THC.
Gummy time,
you don't smoke cigarettes anymore, do you?
I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, no.
Not even if you're enjoying a late Friday night party and you got a cold Great Lakes in your hand?
I can't be the person that just does the one-off dart.
Yeah. hack a dart.
I can't hack one dart. I'm either in for the pack or nothing.
Rob, did you ever smoke?
No, I think I have a vague memory of trying once in grade 5. I had a friend.
Tries once.
Smart people try once and go, this is awful.
And I do have another memory of smoking one cigarette once when I was really drunk with a friend of mine up at his cottage in Collingwood. And I think that was the second time. So, but that was it.
See, that's what smart people do. This is the second time I've spilled beer down me. This
Well,
is my
you're
first
sitting beside
beer.
Rob fucking Preuss, Liza.
I don't.
Like,
Truth be told, I don't drink beer that often, but still, I
Okay.
should be able to function with a
It's a can. It's hard.
with a can.
Yeah.
You would think that I could.
So what about this song? We talked about Spandau Ballet, but it's Seals and Crofts.
I love this because when I was a kid and we'd go to my grandma's house for dinner, they'd pull out old albums like Glenn Miller
Yep.
and stuff like that. I love Glenn Miller.
Swing the Mood.
Yep.
Is that
Yeah.
Glenn Miller?
In the Mood.
But
No, it's not Swing the Mood. Oh, Swing the Mood was the Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers.
right.
Based on In the Mood.
In the- yeah.
Right.
So, and then I think, or maybe this was just my dad's album, doesn't matter, but it would come out at dinner time. But then years later, I spent a year in LA, and a good friend of mine lived there at the same time with her. I don't know if they were married yet, but they were going to be. And they had a place in Laurel Canyon.
Okay.
And I would go up to that place. And for people who don't know, like that's where Joni Mitchell
Yeah.
lives, and the hippies
David
were
Crosby.
Eagles there? The Eagles there?
Yeah. David Crosby
Yeah.
was there. They were all.
Everybody was in the canyon.
Yeah.
And so this place that my friends lived in,
Jackson Brown, I want to
Yep.
say, is there. Okay.
yeah, Jim Morrison was there
Right.
back in the day. And so when I'd go to their house, it would make me think of this song kind of, and just the whole idea, or this song makes me think of that house
That's cool.
where there's jasmine growing and there's a beautiful light and it feels so calm. And
That's amazing because for me, that song is like a childhood memory because I remember when that was on the radio, early 70s, right? And I was probably 5 or 6 or 7 years old. And I was definitely tuning into the radio. Like we keep talking about introductions. Will you play the intro of that song one more time? Can you do that? Or is it gone? Okay, wait. Now this toy piano comes in. Listen to this. It's so cool. Like one of those little ones. Here.
Oh, I hear it.
That little tinkly piano. It's one of those plastic toy pianos, which is super cool. And I used to have one of those when I was a little kid, and it was in our basement in our playroom.
right.
And I didn't connect it until, I mean, I probably made some kind of an unconscious connection.
Is that like a xylophone?
No, it's an actual little plastic piano.
Little ting, ting,
Yeah, it's got
ting.
like a little octave of a piano keyboard.
Yeah, sounds like Fisher Price.
Exactly, it totally does. But they were German wooden pianos. So, but anyways,
I
yeah.
love when I've listened to this song 1,000 times and now I have something new to listen
Yep.
for when
Yep.
it comes on.
But yeah, these kind of old
Did you
songs.
cover this in your set, Rob?
I didn't do it, but I've recently learned that intro though, because once I realized what that was, I thought I'm gonna learn how to play that. It's always fun to go back and learn music. Like I'm an endless student of life.
Oh.
So like when I listen to a song, even now just listening to that Level 42 song, I was listening to it thinking, oh, I've never noticed that bass line. Like the keyboards are all sort of connecting in my head in a new way.
Like Song Exploder. I
yeah,
get it.
totally.
I have such
In my head.
jealousy of that because I don't have any musical I wish I had some kind of artistic talent. I wish I could paint or play an instrument. I cannot. And I could see just from the get-go that
Yeah.
it registers in your brain and your hands start to move a little bit, Rob.
I'm just hearing it in a different
Because
way.
you hear it completely differently than I would.
Yeah.
Rob, can you
Jealous.
see my screen? I know it won't be easy for
Yes.
Liza to see my screen. Okay. Do you know what moment this is? This dance moment that Mark Weisblatt sent me, this stock
That is
photo.
the moment.
Right. This is okay.
Turn that computer.
Is this? Wait a minute. Is that me with the guy?
With Tony Hadley.
Spandau Ballet.
I don't have my glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, get those glasses on, Liza. Here.
How on earth?
Isn't
I
that
didn't
cool?
even think that existed
Here you go.
around.
So there's a stock photo of Liza. And what's his name again?
Tony Hadley.
Dancing of Tony Hadley.
Yep,
from
that's amazing.
I don't think I
Spandau
even knew
Ballet.
his name.
Really? Tony, it's Mr. Spandau Ballet.
Well, I would have known it when I was in
So
the
Mark
movie.
Mark Weisblatt dug this up,
That's
and
amazing.
He's requested that I take a photo in front of the Toronto tree of you two reenacting that moment. So I will take a photo
80s slow dance.
of Rob Preuss
80s slow dance.
and Liza Fromer doing an 80s
That's
slow
so
dance
cute.
in front of the
Although-
Toronto tree.
I should have both of my hands on his shoulders.
Where is that? By the way, Liza, where is that other hand? It's a mysteriously
Right?
absent from
You
this.
don't need
Where
to
is that
know.
other hand?
That is
Rob?
so cool.
Will that be reenacted as well?
Right,
I need to know.
I thought we would have done the
Yeah, right?
the
That's like a
two
formal
hand-
dance.
Yeah.
Okay, geez. Okay, so
But who found that?
Mark Weisblatt.
Way to go.
Mark Weisblatt, also known as 1236.
Thanks,
And he's
1236.
watching live, and he heard the reference, and he dug it
Super
up.
cool.
I
It's
didn't
here.
know that existed.
Things exist that you never know
This
exist.
is quite the
Like,
episode. This is one for the ages. Should I be
Yeah.
recording this? That's what I want to know.
I would say start recording now, and we'll do a summary of where we've
Yeah.
been.
You won't believe what
Yeah,
you missed.
That's right. But join us. Yeah.
There was a photo of this volleyball game, and we think we see Liza in the background. All right, and Deb's on the live stream. It's wild today. I'm going to kick out jam number 5 just to keep these jams rolling. We're going back to the 80s with this one.
Oh, yeah.
You're the reason for this one, Mike.
Oh,
thank you. Am I your second
I'll explain.
crush?
No, I'll explain.
oh, I remember why. I listened to that episode. I know what my brain, because I just listened yesterday.
So
Okay.
I know
Exactly what you're talking about.
So Rob, explain what you think is going on, and
Okay.
then we'll find out from Liza what's
Well,
going on.
wasn't that the band that you were like, you need to go back and listen to the band? Because was it Paul Weller or it was the Jam?
Yeah.
And you're
Style
like,
Council.
Style Council. It counts.
I
yeah.
remember it 100%. Style Council was new to me. I remember
Yeah.
YYZ Gord was admonishing me in the
Yes.
in the FOTM chat.
I'm like,
how
who
did I miss Style
doesn't
Council?
know who Paul Weller is?
No, I know
right.
who Paul Weller is. I didn't know the name Style Council.
That's right.
But I
There's
don't
difference
think
there.
you had enough reverence for Paul Weller.
That's right. No, he didn't appreciate it. He didn't know.
No.
He's a little younger than us.
Yeah.
I am a little younger
Yeah.
than you.
It makes a difference, though.
So you have to remember, in 1982, I am 8 years old.
Come on, man.
So I'm really into like Stray Cats.
Okay.
Okay.
And Duran Duran.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
doesn't exclude Style Council, though.
It's all on the radio at the same time.
Yeah, it
I
could
loved
roll
Built for
right in.
Speed by the Stray Cats. That
Yeah.
was a big cassette for me. Yeah.
But yeah, but as I mentioned the last time around, Paul Weller might be the coolest person to walk the planet.
Seriously. I know.
Like he just exudes style and
Still.
cool.
Yep.
Still, every minute of his life on this planet, he will
know.
just be probably. And like if you ask the guys from Oasis, who's the coolest guy on the planet? They'd be like, Paul Weller.
Yeah.
Everybody. And so I thought, well, we have to have.
No, I
that was the
appreciate
Style
this.
Council. Now we're on to the Jam. Same dude.
I need to be educated. I will say on the Oasis front, there, I saw a quote from Liam, the more handsome one who doesn't write the music and does the front man, if you will, from Oasis, who was saying that he was kind of like making fun of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is apparently considering like one of the nominees for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is Oasis.
Oh, yeah.
So Oasis might get in, and he was just basically shitting, like who wants to be a member
That's
of that
what rap
club?
stars are supposed to do, kind of.
That's right.
Well, he is particularly
Right.
because he's a
Gotta be a rebel.
troublemaker. Yeah.
Right, and he was like, I think he even said his brother Noel would probably go and enjoy it because he likes to hang around famous stars.
And he
and
loves
stuff.
to like take the piss out of
But
his
this
brother.
is a question. Do you remember the first episode of Toast this year? And I asked, I think I asked you, Rob, and I asked Bob Willett, will Oasis, announce a reunion
did ask
tour
that.
in 2024? Like, this was the question. But now, after those quotes, I'm thinking no.
Probably not.
No, Liam and Noel Gallagher touring
Yeah.
together. I'd be surprised.
I think not.
But there would be, apparently, is it Noel who's got the divorce going on? So some people think maybe he might need some money
I don't know.
because there'll be a fucking Brinks truck like in
Yeah,
that
maybe.
line.
His new band is great though. High Flying Birds.
Sure, yeah,
Like,
but they can't play big venues.
Right,
Like
right.
High Flying Birds can't sell out. Can't do a Taylor Swift or whatever.
No.
But Oasis could.
Oasis could. I remember seeing their Unplugged on MTV.
Oh, yeah.
And it was on a thing about
Yeah.
Oasis, and Liam said he had a
said
bad.
it, yes, and he was
in the-
pouring beer from the balcony. if I
Yeah, he
remember
was up in the
correctly.
balcony saying he couldn't sing.
Right.
So Noel had to step in at the last minute,
right.
nervous,
Yeah.
and then just fucking heckled by his
God.
I remember it well. It was quite a moment. So Noel
Funny.
writes the songs, but there are a couple of big Oasis songs that Noel did sing on. But
Yep.
you're right.
He's got a cool voice, too.
Wonderwall and
Yeah.
a lot of the big hits were.
But it's Liam.
Yeah.
on, for sure. I'm being reminded that apparently High Flying Birds did play Budweiser's stage. So what do I know?
All right.
But it's not Oasis.
Right.
So we'll just leave it at that. And I'm going to roll right into the next jam, and then I'm going to ask Liza Fromer about something I learned about her after her last appearance, and I'm curious to hear about her. But it's all good. Don't worry. There's no gotcha going on here. But let's kick out jam number 6, a little more recent than these other jams.
Put your loving hand out, baby, 'cause I'm begging. I'm begging you to put your loving hand out, baby, it hard and fast, 'cause I had everything. I walked away, you want me then, but easy come and easy go, and it wouldn't. So anytime I bleed, you let me go. Yeah, anytime I feel, you got me, no. Anytime I see, you let me know. But the plan and see, just let me go. I'm on my knees when I'm begging, 'cause I don't wanna lose you. Hey, yeah, ra-da-da-da, 'cause I'm begging you. Put your love in the hand now, baby. I'm begging you. Put your love in the hand.
Liza, what are we listening to?
Måneskin, begging.
Love it.
Saw these guys, didn't know a thing about
Did
them.
you see them live?
No, I
Okay,
wish, and
okay.
I would love
Me
to.
too.
When I discovered it was SNL.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm ashamed to say I do sometimes, like, if I don't know the artist, I might just blow by
Yep.
if I've recorded it. But I thought, Måneskin, I don't know. And then they kicked into this jam, and I was like, what
Aren't
the
they
hell
cool?
is this?
I know. Did you know this is a cover?
No.
Okay, Mike, I was going to send you a link to the video. You should play the original version of this song. It'll freak you out.
Who played the... What? I had no idea.
I know. Do you have AirDrop, Mike? Or maybe if you go to YouTube, just type it in.
Why don't you tell me the name of the artist? And
Frankie
I will,
Valli and the Four Seasons.
Shut
I swear
up.
to God. It's swearing to God. Yeah. It's the
Really?
weirdest thing. I didn't know it until way after I fell in love with this song. Yeah.
I'm dying to hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
This dude, whose name I can't even think of,
No.
is such a rock
Isn't
star.
he cool? The whole band is, though, right?
Yeah. Okay. No way.
I'm telling you, it's a mind blow.
No.
I'm begging.
No shit.
My job here is complete. See you later.
Frankie Valli also.
you got the jaw drop. Like what?
I know.
Holy shit.
With the hand claps and everything.
I love it when people discover a song that they dig was a cover. Like this happens to me, and I'm like, "That's a cover."
Yeah.
I love it.
No way.
But does this take a cake? So this is my question for you, Liza. When you learn a song you love is a cover, does it take some of the bloom off the rose? Like, oh,
Not
I
at all.
thought that was their song, and maybe
Not at
now
all.
it's like, oh.
Like when a speech is written by ChatGPT?
When a love letter to you on a blog
I
of a
wanna
good
get into
FOTM
ChatGPT.
is written by ChatGPT, does
I
it
know.
take some of the bloom off the rose?
No, I don't. I actually don't mind a cover, and in
Yeah.
fact, will find it equally artistically impressive if you can rework it in a manner that just grabs a whole new audience.
For
Like,
sure.
Like
the-
Aretha Franklin's Respect.
Yes,
RSPCT.
the best
Right.
cover, in my opinion, of all time.
What, can you give me a decade? I want to guess this.
70s?
Proud Mary by Ike and Tina Turner.
No, great one. All Along the Watchtower.
Yep. That's an excellent cover. That's a good
Do you
one.
mean the U2 version?
No.
I mean the Hendrix version of the original Dylan.
The Hendrix version. Of
Oh,
course.
the Hendrix version.
good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one.
Of the original
Yeah,
Bob
yep,
Dylan
yep.
song.
Yeah.
I think that's the best cover of all time.
That's
I'm
one of the top
throwing down
ones.
that gauntlet.
That's one of the top.
Mike, we
ones.
just did this. We just did an episode of Toast with
Yeah.
songs that we didn't know. Or was that the thing that it was your FOTM?
That was a FOTM KOTJ, which
That's
gives
right.
me an
All the
opportunity to
acronyms.
remind everybody that there is a new one in the works. So if you're listening to my voice right now, that includes you, Liza, and that includes you, Rob Preuss.
Yep.
Record yourself talking about a song that reminds you of spring, much like the Four Seasons and Frankie Valli. One of the seasons is spring. So a song that reminds you of spring, record yourself on your phone or whatever you want for 30 to 90 seconds talking about that song, and then email that audio file to mike@torontomike.com, and you will be a part of the next FOTM KOTJ episode of Toronto Mic'd. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
Liza, listen.
Done.
I want you to tell all your Rye High friends about this. I want them on this episode. I just want,
Okay.
I want some submissions.
Gotta-
Spring jams.
Blast it out there.
Do it.
But covers, like you said, like discovering a cover is just as exciting. Like sometimes I'll go into Spotify or to YouTube, whatever, and type in the name of a song, and I'm amazed at the number of songs that will come up that I'm like, I don't know which, if you don't know which is the original, it's just fun to like go through them and find variations. And this is true. Like, of course, I've been in the world of musical theater for ages, and there's so many performers who will do their rendition of a song.
Right.
And this has existed like, since the days of Cole Porter and, Gershwin, and they would write a song, and then the whole point was to have them recorded by up to 10 million people. That was the way that the business went, was that the songwriters had
the
their songs
publishing
done.
or whatever.
Yeah.
they get.
So you can hear these standards. They're standards because the songwriters gave them to everybody to do. And
Can I ask?
cool.
Maneskin, that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Maneskin.
I think so.
Did they win a reality show or something? Like, is this the Italian band that won some kind of like a?
Oh,
I feel like maybe they did.
what's the big European one they do?
Was it Eurovision? That they
Was it
won?
Eurovision?
They might have been Italy's like submission. For
Maybe,
Eurovision.
yeah.
Maybe they won it actually. Like now that I think about it, maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I feel like Weisblatt told me this back when he would visit every month. That he told me about
Maybe.
this Italian band that won Eurovision, and
Yeah.
we played some Maneskin.
And there's the cutest video online of Angelina Jolie and one of her daughters, and they're at a Maneskin concert, and one of the songs starts. I don't think it's that one, but one's, and the way they look at each other, and it's just such a cute mom-daughter moment of like,
wow.
and then they both start singing along.
Neat.
Love it. Love them.
Yep, they're very cool.
Love you, Liza. I got a question.
Hit me.
You were on Tiny Talent Time, right?
Yes, who knew that?
You were on Tiny Talent Time? Guess what?
You were?
So was I. I was going to tell you, speaking of Kitchener, I was also on Big Al's Talent Showcase. Do you remember Big Al?
I remember
CKCO?
100%. I remember Big Al.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what were you doing?
I played piano. Actually, I was on two
Still
times.
then. How old?
Actually, my anniversary is coming up this weekend. 50 years ago, I was 8 years old. It's 1974. It's a good year, Mike, right? 74 was a good year.
I don't remember 1974.
No, you don't, but it was a good year because you came in the world.
I was
How
I was birthed
wonderful.
that year.
That's right. But yes, I did Tiny Talent Time when I was 8.
And
Played
my
piano.
God, Bill Lawrence.
Bill Lawrence.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
another
Uncle
note I
Bill.
have is that you were taught by Bill Lawrence as well, right, Liza? So not only are you on
Golly,
Tiny
how do
Talent
people
Time with
know
Bill
all this
Lawrence, but
stuff?
you're a student of Bill Lawrence.
Really?
The late great shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. So
Student
Can you
in
tell
what
us-
way?
He was a teacher at Ryerson when I was there.
way.
In my first
Like a
year.
media teacher
Yep.
or-
our performance class. Wow. And I remember thinking, this is incredible.
That's so
Someone
cool.
who's on the CBC
Wow.
is here right now.
Yeah.
And he was a
you did
great
weather on
teacher.
the CBC?
Do you
Yeah.
know, hilariously, in second or third year when I was doing video and arcade top 10 and I was still at school,
shout out to Nicholas Pickles.
oh, I love him so much. He's the greatest guy.
He owns Buffalo Radio, by the way.
He does?
Yeah. You
Yes,
gotta
he
listen to
does.
the Nicholas Pickles episode of
Okay.
Toronto Mike.
Okay.
Yep. Now, what the hell was I saying?
I don't know.
Bill Lawrence.
You said
Ryerson.
while you
Bill
were doing
Lawrence,
video arcade and
Ryerson.
top 10
Oh yes,
on
in my
TV.
and then in my third year probably, I was doing the show for YTV, doing video and arcade
Yeah.
top 10. That's what
Yeah.
I said, Nick. And took a performance class again, not with Bill Lawrence. I don't remember who the teacher was. And so even though I was doing a TV show, gotta be a B.
That's good.
And I was not like the world's best student. So I
Yeah.
thought at least this one class will get, no B.
What did you do on Tiny Talent Time?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I did a dance. I took dancing.
Did you? Like with baton? No baton.
No, I wanted to do
Okay.
baton, but the place I went also did baton.
Did they? Wow.
This was modern jazz
In Kitchener.
In Kitchener.
What was the name of the dance studio in Kitchener?
Deirdre King.
Okay.
And
I remember that name on Tiny Talent Time. That's the funniest thing. And now we have the dancers from
the Deirdre King School of Dance or
Yes,
something like that.
probably.
Yep. She was, she was all over with that, and had twirlers
Yep.
and tappers.
Yep.
I was a jazz.
Wow.
And then my mother recorded it on a cassette tape that I don't know if she still has it, but golly, as someone who now works in television, I'm like, oh, Bill, I'm so sorry. Bill Lawrence hosting it. And I looked up to him. I was maybe 5. I
Yep.
looked up and said, I could also do a poem. And he's like,
Did you do it?
I don't know that we have time for the poem. Maybe after the break. And
That's
they
fine.
come back from the break. He goes, we've made time for your poem. And I'm like,
Wow.
and then I was like, no.
No, you changed your mind.
way. Oh my
That's
God.
wild.
No, thank you.
Hey, what I find interesting, Liza, is that I took note of your 10 jams, and then I see now that you actually amended your jams. So from the time you sent them to now, one of the jams that will not be kicked out, but was going to be kicked out, I was going to dedicate it to Midtown Gord, who recently
Well, can we do
lost
11?
his dad.
Did you do 11?
Well, I guess we could do
Bonus
11,
jam.
but
It's
I
a
don't
bonus
you know.
jam.
So, but I will shout out the jam that we're probably not going to kick out, that was going to be kicked out, but you must have changed your mind.
Wait. I think you should play, if it's for someone who would appreciate it, just play the first 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll close with the 11th jam, which will be dedicated to it's going to be dedicated to I almost said YYZ Gord. There's a lot of Gords hanging around. To Midtown Gord, who recently lost his dad, and I think that jam he'll appreciate. So that'll be the 11th jam. So here we are now. We're on jam number 7.
Miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but I know you miss me. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but bet you got a good gun. Bet you know how to have some fun and then you turn it around on me because I'm better than the rest of the men. I say you'll miss me, and you always do. I say you'll miss me. Now would I lie to you? Now there's no need to demand. Wrap my golden hair. I'll teach you and you'll never be sure.
I'm breaking it down because I want to know what's going on. Rob is showing something to Liza on his phone.
It's a picture I took of Boy George when we were on tour.
Where's that from?
So we toured with them in '83.
You did?
Their first U.S. tour. So we had just signed to A&M Records in L.A. because we had played with the Police in Toronto in '82, and the record company guys
Picnic.
at the Police Picnic at CME, right?
Sure.
So then we signed for a distribution deal in the
Garys.
States, and yes, exactly. And then the next spring, it was their first U.S. tour. So we got to open for them on like 21 cities across America.
And how was that?
It was amazing. But this album hadn't even been released yet because when they booked the tour, I think that the first album had just been released, and Kiss, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? It was just going up the charts.
Right.
So like 2 weeks before the tour started, it hit number 1. So all of a sudden, they had booked these like mid-sized theaters and things around the country,
And then it
was
blew
sold out
up.
instantly. So for us, it was really cool. We got to like sort of tag on to crowds, and it was really
And
exciting.
Culture Club at that time was massive.
Yeah.
I remember when I was just
were
kind of
getting
getting into
massive.
top 40 music, Culture Club was everywhere.
Yep. This was like just at the beginning of the precipice. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, the peak. Or
Yeah. And they had already
precipice,
recorded
yeah.
this album. They had already recorded Karma Chameleon
Oh,
and
that was a
all of these
jam.
songs, but they held them off for like 9 months because the first album was all of a sudden all these singles were going up the charts and they were on the road and they were like, this is great. We can hold it off and wait.
So I loved Culture Club.
Yeah.
In, again, middle school it started. There was a girl named Deborah, and we all had to pick our thing. I don't remember what I picked, but her nickname was Karma Deb.
No way.
Because,
That's cool. That's cool.
because she loved Culture Club. But part of the reason I love this particular song, isn't that a great picture? Is because there's a movie called Unzipped. There's a Isaac Mizrahi.
I've seen it.
Isaac. So when the girls are coming out for a very particular part of the runway show, this song is part of it. And there's just something about those 90s supermodels walking to this song
Yeah.
in that moment
So cool.
that I love.
It's
Do you
great.
remember? I saw it at the Carlton Cinema where they had all those small theaters for like the less
Yes.
mainstream
Yep.
movies, like Unzipped, and I remember seeing it there. Yeah.
When I was in first year university, the only person I knew in Toronto was my friend Tracy, who I had gone to high school with,
Okay.
who I'm still friends with, who P.S. is married to Bruce McCullough.
Oh.
What the fuck?
You mentioned that.
That's a mind blow. Because I'm seeking more kids in the hall because I had Kevin McDonald over here, and one of my 2024 pledges, I was chatting with VP of Sales about this. I need more kids in the hall. I was thinking
can
Scott
try.
Thompson, you can try. Because
No
he
promise, but I can try.
He was literally on Lakeshore, like I could walk there in 1 minute, directing Tall Boys,
Yeah.
which is a comedy troupe, and he was
Yeah.
there. And then one of the ladies, I literally did a handwritten letter explaining what I do down here, and I was a big fan from the beginning, and I wanted to have him on the show or whatever. And I handed this lady promised me she would deliver it to Bruce.
Wow.
I never heard back from fucking Bruce, but
Who knows if it got
who
to
knows
him.
if it got to him? But anyway, do your best, Liza.
I had a friend who dated Bruce in the early 90s.
Oh no, this is going to start to be about Bruce.
No. But and I met him one time, but I mean, we're all Kids in the Hall fans, of course.
Of course,
Yes.
and he's the greatest
Yes.
guy. Like the greatest. Why was I bringing that up?
Because you were married, Tracy married him.
Because
Unzipped.
what was
You went to
Unzipped? The only person I knew in Toronto was Tracy.
You went to the movie and
the Carlton.
It was the Carlton Cinema.
I saw Crumb there. I'm just here to shout out. I fucking still love that fucking documentary.
Crumb. So in 1980, Tracy and I moved from Kitchener to Toronto in 89. She went to U of T. I went to Ryerson.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad was the manager of a Cineplex in Kitchener.
Okay.
And at that time, they had Cineplex money. It was pink.
I remember.
Pink Cineplex money. Yes. And he would send her piles. And I lived kitty corner to Maple Leaf Gardens. I lived at Carlton and Church.
Wow.
So she would come over from U of T with her big stack of Cineplex money, and we saw every single movie that came to the Carlton. Like any Yugoslavian,
it was like an art house
black and
theater.
white art house, subtitled. We're there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, loved it.
I fucking love that story. And did you go to that Golden Griddle there often?
You bet I did. Yes, I did.
First time I ever smoked weed. Actually, I said smoked weed. The first time I ever smelled weed was walking with my father to, we had seats in the Grays at Maple Leaf Gardens, and I remember walking outside Maple Leaf Gardens, and I could smell this smell, and then I didn't know what it was, and then years later I realized, I was smelling marijuana.
That was my first smell too at Maple Leaf Gardens. When I was 12, I went to see Queen.
Okay.
Yeah, so I saw Queen, and we got into the space, and guys in front of us were smoking. It was me and two friends of mine, and that was my first I think that's what that smells.
I think I saw the Beasties there.
Did
I
you?
saw Robert Plant there.
Wow.
Yeah.
The BC's open for Madonna.
Yes.
Right. That was like
True Blue
like
tour,
a Virgin.
I think it was the True Blue tour.
I think it was earlier than that.
Madonna knows.
Maybe the Like a Virgin tour.
Yeah, because remember, License to Ill breaks, and they're not
86.
opening for Madonna anymore.
Yeah,
that was the #1 album in America.
Yeah.
So I think it was like
Am I the first to finish my beer?
You started early.
No, I opened it early. But I waited.
We're gonna get Liza tanked here. Okay, it's a good
Right?
thing don't worry, I got a couch you can
I'm gonna
crash
have
on
to
here.
pee at some point.
Listen, so if you're gonna pee, let me start this jam, and then don't hit your head.
Can I?
Go pee. Yeah, during the song.
I just
We'll
chugged
play the
the
song.
whole beer.
Yeah.
Go pee.
Will I be able to hear it? Can you play it on
No,
the
it's only in
speaker
the
as
headphones.
well?
No, it's in the headphones. But
Let the song start, and then you go.
You've heard this a few times, Liza. You probably heard it on the drive here. Okay, now take off the headphones.
Girls that fucking rock.
Come on now.
Don't hit your head, Liza Fromer. Don't hit your head, Liza Fromer.
Full of beer.
Okay, hear it. Now it's cooking, right, Rob?
Woo! Seriously. What number is this? 8.
Are you wondering if you need to pee as well?
Nope, not yet.
I'm actually wondering. I might go in the next one jam to pee. So this is jam number 8. So what are your thoughts, Rob? So
It's going well. I think it's going well.
this is a big jam.
Yep.
The Go-Go's.
Love it.
What was your reaction when this song came out?
I loved the Go-Go's. One of my very favorite singles that I got in Christmas of 1981. This is I can always date all these things because they were like pivotal moments in my life. We went to Germany for the Christmas of 81 with my dad's relatives were over there, my grandmother and stuff. And I bought all these singles. I was so excited because we had just done our first Spoons album, and I was catching up on all the European stuff. And I bought an Ultravox single. I bought a Soft Cell, Tainted Love. But like Go-Go's Our Lips Are Sealed was like my favorite song. But yeah, they're amazing.
What's your favorite Go-Go song?
Probably Our Lips Are Sealed. Only for like nostalgic sort of like pivotal moment reasons, but I love them all.
They re-recorded this song, so I know Liza will join us shortly, but the original comes out in 1980. And it's the re-recording that is a hit in 1981
Amazing.
of We Got the Beat, which we're listening to right now. That's on Beauty and the Beat. So it was like a non-album single, and then they re-recorded it. But yeah, fucking right. So Vacation's another big jam.
Yep.
From, right. And Head Over Heels. Our Lips Are Sealed.
I don't know if that was even a single in America. It might have been. But
yeah, it went to number 20 on the
Did it?
US
Okay.
Billboard Hot 100, so absolutely.
Because in Germany it was like a huge hit.
No, it was a big hit. Lips Are Sealed. That was their that was their first hit here.
Nice.
And ladies and gentlemen, watch your head. Watch your head.
Check your head.
Oh, God. You know what? I couldn't take the guilt I'd feel if two guests in a row concussed themselves.
They're the only girl band to chart number ones, all girl.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Well, and the Bengals.
And it
did the
depends how you
Bengals then
define chart number one.
Were they all
right?
girls, the Bengals?
Yes.
Yeah, the Bengals.
But maybe
Yeah.
it was...
Wasn't it?
But I think the
Go-Go's
Go-Go's
were
probably got there first. Did you watch that documentary on them? God, that was good.
Do you know Bob
So
McCowan had a
good.
role in that documentary? Like his Fadoo Productions. And do you know Bob McCowan? Maybe
Nope.
I'm spitting a name at you. You don't even know. Because
I know the name. I don't know.
He was a
Bob
long-time
McCown.
sports commentator and radio
I know
guy
that.
on The Fan. You can hear about him in episode 1430. But I'm here to tell you, though, if you're talking about charts, and I'm just kind of peeking at the charts for their singles, they actually don't go to number one.
No.
So We Got the Beat, which we just heard,
Didn't
the
go to number
re-recording,
one?
peaked at number 2.
And it's possible Belinda Carlisle might have on her own. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Belinda
I thought
Carlisle
they
had a
did.
pretty good...
But without hitting the top, they were super influential. Like, I mean, in the world of music. And again, it's sort of like what I was saying about our song Romantic Traffic.
Like
How
the
it
album
didn't
went
go to
to
the top of
number
the
one.
charts, but when you're in the video world, the perception is all different.
Yep.
People's perception of you because they see you all the time as well.
Yep.
So the radio has a little bit less influence in that way as far as the public, you know?
Absolutely.
Maybe. So,
in that era,
yes.
especially.
Yep, for sure. They had great videos. Their
miss
songs were
videos.
great.
Lest we forget, the Bangles also a tremendous all-women group.
Yep.
Yes, very
Bengals.
much so. And they're not an all-woman group, but for kick-ass rock women, Heart. I
Oh my
I haven't
God,
had
yeah.
any Heart
Oh,
on
yeah.
my lists, I don't think.
Yep.
Love them. So
Yep.
I'm going to have to come back again, Mike.
That's right.
You know what? I would come back again, but only if Rob joins us.
Of course.
So that's the
We'll
trio
make it a
now.
regular thing.
Hey, just so we get this on the record, I muttered it quickly, and I think we didn't hear it, but that album was number 1. So the singles never went to number 1, but
Okay.
that Go-Go's album did, in fact, go to...
Beauty and the Beat.
Beauty and the Beat went
Yep.
to number 1
Wow.
on the albums chart there.
Nice.
Okay. Loving this so much. Gonna get to... here we go.
I know when to go out, know when to stay in, get things done.
I catch a paper boy, but things don't really change. I'm standing in the wind, but I never wave bye-bye. But I try. There's no sign of life, it's just the power to charm. I'm lying in the rain, but I never wave bye-bye. But I try.
Those backing vocals, same guys that did Romantic Traffic.
Oh,
Those are the guys.
These are the guys?
Yep.
Of course, because...
Because it's Niall,
It's Niall.
isn't it?
Niles, yeah, of course.
Niall produced this.
That's his... Of course.
Yep.
Does he play on it as well?
Oh, yeah, he's all the guitar.
Yeah.
He did all the arrangement as well.
He's unbelievable.
Yep.
I watch a lot of documentaries and biographies, and as
He's
far as
everywhere.
a certain era of music, he's everywhere.
Chic, yeah.
Yep.
I love this because I had this album, and every time I remember we'd be out with my parents, we'd come home, I'd slap it on immediately, and his dance moves, the one hand in front of the
Yeah.
other, which was so 80s. That's
Yep.
all I would do at middle school dances, copying
Yep.
David Bowie.
Yep.
And then I was just telling my son this quote. I saw Iman, who Bowie was, of course, married
Yeah.
to
Right.
for the last part of his life. And she was a supermodel. And the interviewer said, did you give David fashion advice at all? And she looked and she said, did I give David Bowie fashion advice? David Bowie is fashion.
Right. Wow.
I didn't tell him shit.
Fucking here's a mind blow for you from Canada, Kev. Dave Steeb went to the Bowie concert at the CNE because his sister was babysitting for Dave Steeb's kids.
Really?
Liza, do you remember Dave Steeb?
Yeah, with the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just
Pitcher?
making sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the best starter in Blue Jays history.
Wow.
It's either him or Holiday, so you pick
Was
your...
Dave Steep the bigger guy?
Not a big... You're thinking of David Wells, I think.
David Wells.
Boomer was the bigger guy.
I got to drive home from David Wells once because in my first apartment in Toronto, that one across from Maple Leaf Gardens,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was 4 or 5 young women living in this one apartment. We each had our own separate rooms. It was kind of dorm style.
Wow.
And she was one of the Blue Jays dancers, I guess, maybe. And so I went down with her to the thing once, and then he said, I'll drive you guys home. And David Wells gave us a drive home.
Did he put a move on any of you?
No.
Okay, interesting. So my story of Boomer Wells is not as exciting as yours, except I went to see, I was a big Stone Temple Pilots fan, and they were opening for Red Hot Chili Peppers at it was called the Molson Amphitheater at the time. Fishbone was the opening act, so I get there early. I see Fishbone, I see Stone Temple Pilots, I see Red Hot Chili Peppers, and exactly, I want to say the row in front of us, my brother Steve was with me, I got to find out, but I think it's the row in front of us, is David fucking Wells at this concert at the Molson Amphitheater.
Yeah.
So not quite a drive home from Boomer, but he had a couple of tours of duty with this team.
Right.
I love that guy.
Dave
love
Stieb.
that guy.
Dave
Steve had 2 tours of duty too, because Dave Stieb leaves Toronto after I think the '92 World Series, I think, but then he comes back as a reliever. Like he retires and he comes back and is like, I don't know, at 40 years old or something to pitch in relief. It's quite a story, his comeback with the Toronto Blue Jays there.
That's cool.
All right. In fact, he's in the bullpen when Holiday. Can't forget. Roy Halladay pitches his one hitter when he had the no hitter with 9.2 innings of work, and he gives up the homer to Bobby Higginson of the Detroit Tigers last day of the season. I was at that game, so I was at a game where the Blue Jays pitcher Roy Halladay had a no hitter with 2 outs in the 9th inning, and I said to myself, I'm witnessing a no-hitter. There's never been a Toronto Blue Jay no-hitter.
It got biffed at the last.
Yes, the guy, the Detroit Tiger guy, Bobby Higginson, hits a home run to end the no-no, and no Blue Jays ever pitched a no-hitter at home, because when Dave Stieb pitched the no-hitter, I think it was in Cleveland, so back in 1990. When I was working for Ardo Guidaro. Okay, lots going on here. Shout out to Andrew Guidaro, who's an FOTM. Actually, Ardo's technically an FOTM too.
Did you ever see David Bowie live? Speaking of
David, you did see David Bowie. I saw David Bowie, and it was I was in university, so it was like maybe first or second year university, and I remember there was someone behind me yelling out the most vulgar, and I am okay with.
What were they yelling? This is
I
not the
honestly
radio.
can't remember because it was so long ago, but whatever she was yelling about what she wanted David Bowie to do to her. And then I turned around, and it was the sweetest looking little,
oh my God,
young, not that, like maybe 17, with the, like, just this little sweet angelic face.
Yeah.
And then she'd open her mouth and be like, woo, damn.
Wow.
That's funny.
Wow. And that young woman grew up to become
Liza Fromer. No.
I'm looking at, so this was going to be your last jam, but we added a last jam because we're going to do 11. Okay, just like in Spinal Tap, we're going
Taking
to 11.
it to 11.
But we rock out with these last 2 jams. We're going to rock out. I loved this album, and you mentioned Q107 because you were at Q107, and Q107's Top 10 at 10 played many a single from this album, and at night I would listen to Shirley MacQueen.
Oh, I got a story about Shirley after.
Okay, well, you want to do it now?
Okay.
You can do it after. But she's an FOTM too.
Good friend of mine, Paul McGuire, who is currently the afternoon guy on Talk. No, is it called Talk?
Let's see if you can get it, because I know the station you're referring to.
93.5.
Right. Today Radio. They do a lot of talking now with their people. That's why it always comes in my head as Talk. Today Radio. Anyway, Paul and I have been friends since we did Clips, which was like a sister show of Video and Arcade. Long story shortish, we were going to Paris, Paul and I. We just decided on a whim. We were about 22, 23. Wow. We're going to go. And Shirley MacQueen said, I have a little tiny apartment in Paris. I was still working. I'll give you the keys. You can crash at the place. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. What a generous offer from Shirley. She gave us the keys. We went. We go. The key's not quite working in the door. We finally get the door, but they got weird locks in Paris. I remember this because we did the Airbnb.
And it's also a tiny space. Wow. And we go in, and there's a dude in there, a squatter.
What? No. What did he do?
He doesn't speak word one English, and we're like,
could you get him to leave?
No, we left.
Wow, that's wild.
I'm like, we said, but we know the woman who, and she gave us the key, and he's like, I'm not going anywhere.
No.
Yeah. No.
How do you say squatter in French? Do you know, Rum?
Squatter.
I was going to say squatter.
Yeah, squatter.
Just we squatter.
Yeah.
That's a wild story. Shirley MacQueen, who I fucking love. Shirley MacQueen. She's on that poster. I'm going to start this song and see if I can find that poster, okay? Here we go. Ooh. down Motley Crue for a moment. And then we'll bring it back. But okay, I'm unveiling my poster. Okay, Video Stars, it says at the top.
Yeah.
Graffiti is the
I
name of this
remember this
magazine.
poster.
So,
Wow.
do you want to try to name these people?
Yeah.
So these are people that were like hosting video shows in the
Well, that's
early
Shirley.
80s. So Shirley MacQueen, you've identified Shirley.
Oh, right. I was almost going to say Denise Dahmer.
Yeah. Good in profile.
Yeah. Try to do it on the mic if you can.
In the middle, JD.
That is J.D. Roberts, everybody.
John
She's identified
Roberts.
John Roberts from Much Music.
Michael Williams.
Michael Williams.
Michael Williams is in this poster.
Yeah.
That is City Limits.
You said it. Christopher what?
Christopher
Co-wrote Black
Ward.
Velvet for
Christopher
Atlanta
Ward.
Miles. Christopher Ward.
Beside John Roberts.
Oh, Erica's on
Erica
the end.
M is
Erica?
in this poster.
Yep.
Yeah. He's
Yep.
He's not. Is his name John or
John, not John Minor.
He's not
John
Major? Is that
Major,
John
everybody.
Major?
John
J.H.
Major from Toronto Rocks is on this poster.
Shout out.
And the two blonde women I recognize, but I can't place.
Isn't that Samantha Taylor at the top?
Samantha Taylor on the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is ready for this. The first female VJ in Much Music history is Catherine McClenahan.
Yep.
That's her,
That's
the
cool.
bottom blonde.
Yep.
And right there, you ready for this?
Yep.
This guy, I fucking love this guy. His name is Joel Goldberg. At the time, he went by the name Jay Gold, and he co-created Electric Circus.
Wow.
Oh my
Hi,
god.
And
Jay.
he directed those early Maestro Fresh West videos, like Let Your Backbone Slide.
That's amazing.
Right. Okay.
This guy's the best.
That's a great poster.
I know.
That is a great
I think Jay Gold
poster.
gifted it to me. I got to get a frame.
You got to
and get
frame it
up.
and put it on like
Isn't
a
that wild. So
crystal
again,
board. Back
Shirley MacQueen, Christopher Ward, John Major,
Yeah.
Samantha Taylor, Erica M., Michael Williams, John Major. Did I say that? Oh, J.D. Roberts is the other one. Okay, then John Major, Catherine McClenahan, and Jay Gold. I'll hold it up just for the camera. But let me
It's
get
a great. That is a great.
Let me get a picture of it.
Can I help?
Okay, no, that's good.
Got it.
Yeah, got it.
Don't go away, man. Just go away. Talk to me about Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue.
So, a few things about this. Did the Spoons ever play Rock and Roll Heaven? Do you know that club?
The club? I don't think so. I have now that you say it, I have a vague, weird memory that maybe with Honeymoon Suite, I might have played a gig there.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
In the basement
Yes.
of the Hudson Bay Center,
Yep.
Young and Bloor.
Yep. Do you remember BJ Cuddles was another place down there? In fact, I wonder if it was the same
No.
place. BJ Cuddles was his dumb name, but that was in the early '80s. Sting did a private party thing down there, and I feel like
Really?
I wonder if that became Rock and Roll Heaven. I don't know. Somebody-
Maybe if it was
Yeah.
early '80s, because Rock and Roll Heaven was mostly '90s.
Okay,
Oh
maybe-
well, late '80s, early '90s.
Maybe it was the same place. BJ Cuddles was.
Maybe
the
it
name.
was
Yeah.
first. Oh my gosh. So when I was volunteering at Q, I obviously wasn't making any money, and I was a student,
Yep.
and I needed something, and so Rock and Roll Heaven was kind of like a bit of a, I guess, a clubhouse for Q
Yep.
DJs and
Yep.
staff. And so eventually someone said to the manager there, this girl needs a job. So I ended up working at Rock and Roll Heaven selling nachos and cigarettes and
cool.
T-shirts.
Wow.
When you would come down the long escalator, and then my little station was right there on the left. And one night after they played in town, Motley Crue and Skid Row came in,
Wow.
and they must have played this song on a loop
Wow.
about 30 times while Vince Neil was walking around, like interspersed once in a while with a Skid Row song,
Yeah.
I think. But
A lot of hits on this album.
a lot of hits. I mean, I was just saying to Rob, I'm from Kitchener, so hair metal,
Yep,
please.
yep.
Obviously, the land, at least in my day, of IROCs and Trans Am.
Dude, I was in, Toronto, and I was all into that album. This is
Yep.
pre-grunge, remember? So
Yep.
pre-grunge, you had your Poison, your Motley Crue. These were big deals.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? In my memory, when I was with Honeymoon Suite, we sort of were in that middle ground between
Right.
we were mid to late '80s, and then I remember when the Bon Jovi album came out, and it was also what are they called?
Was that New Jersey? Which one are you talking about?
No,
Slippery When Wet?
Slippery When Wet, because
87, yeah.
they used the same producer that had done the second Honeymoon Suite album as well. Apparently,
So you played with Honeymoon Suite as well?
yeah.
Is that what I read?
Yep. When I left the Spoons, like 9 months later, I joined Honeymoon Suite. And I
Okay.
was with them for a couple years as well. But we were recording in LA in 87 and like Guns N' Roses just came out. And I remember our manager saying, this is the future of rock and roll. And we were like,
Yeah.
you know, then the battle came between like the Bon Jovi style and the new Guns N' Roses era, which then led to the grunge and all the alternatives. So it was a whole cool transitional time where all these things were happening.
Oh,
you know,
it was such an interesting time. The last time I came to visit for Kicking Out the Jams, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
One of
that's
my
right.
absolute number ones.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. Now, here's what ties. We mentioned that Christopher Ward is in that poster, and Christopher Ward has a writing credit on Black Velvet by Alana Miles.
Mm-hmm.
And that album that had Black Velvet on it, which I owned, had a song by Alana Miles called Kickstart My Heart. And I always remembered thinking, oh, there's another Kickstart My Heart, because, of course, there was a great Kickstart My Heart on Dr. Feelgood, the album.
Yeah.
Remember Kickstart My Heart? And I remember Q played the hell out of Without You and Same Old Situation. And Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away was another big one. But
Kickstart My Heart. Do you know what that was about?
Tell me.
It was about Nikki Sixx overdosing on heroin, and they had to like clonk his heart like with the things, the paddles, back to life. So that was Kickstart My Heart was literally when they had to bring him back from a heroin overdose.
To life, back to reality. Sam Kinison gets a shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. Sam Kinison has a cameo in the video for Kickstart My Heart.
That would make perfect sense.
And then just dropping in Soul to Soul like that was masterful.
And of course,
Yeah.
because the co-writer of that song is an FOTM.
I loved that episode.
Thank you.
What was his name? That guy.
Yeah, his Ginger was his DJ name was
Yep.
Ginger.
Yep.
His name will come to me. But
You've had an amazing assortment of guests. Like when you talk.
Liza Fromer 3 times. What more do you want?
I know.
woot woot.
When you go through the pantheon of popular culture in Southern Ontario and music and creators of music and purveyors of media, you've done it all.
Yeah, it's true though.
All right, you get another half an hour, Rob. Keep going. Okay.
Go on. No, really. Go on and on and on.
This is number 11. This is bonus time,
Bonus
just so you
track.
guys can spend a little more time together before I take some photos by the tree. This one you cut from your top 10.
I don't know why. I think at
Like, do you
first
know
I
what's
thought it was
coming?
I have so many 80s because I was thinking about the Spoons and you.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of more of an 80s. Not that this isn't out of that era, sort of, kind of. But I love going on YouTube. I think I said this before, and watching people listen to music for the first time. And when I see people listening to this for the first time, one guy was like, you got to warn me. This is like getting punched in the face.
Really? Oh, wow.
So this is actually an 80s song. It's released in 1980, this song.
And it's
about
just,
the time.
it's the performer is such a singular performer.
Yep.
The song just grabs you by your throat. And I just love everything about
I
it.
can't wait to hear
Had a
this
bit of,
song.
it's had a
You-
bit of
you'll know it.
So it's
You
had a
know
bit
it.
of a resurgence lately for anyone who watched the Apple series Severance. I don't know if anyone
Was
here
it in,
watched.
I loved Severance.
It was kind of prominent in Severance
it?
because
Oh
one of
my
the
God, my
characters, and that's a
memory is
weird
the
kind of a premise where,
worst.
like, when you leave work, you don't remember you were at work. You have these
Yeah.
two like parallel things. So there's a guy at work where in his life that he doesn't know from work, in his personal life and regular life, this is his jam or whatever. So
Gosh, I would have remembered.
Okay,
That's
well.
terrible because I love that show.
yeah. So shout out
Okay.
to Severance and shout out to the song again. We're dedicating this song to Midtown Gord, who lost his father, and our condolences to Midtown Gord. This one's for Midtown Gord. Oh, my heart rate.
If you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You win some, lose some, and do the same to me. The pleasure is to blame. Make no difference what you say. I don't shade green. The only card I need is the ace of spades. The ace of spades. Playing for the high road, dancing with the devil, going with the flow. It's all a game to me. Seven or 11, snake eyes watching you. Double up or quit, doubles take a split. The ace of spades, the ace of spades.
So when I got the email from Liza Fromer that this song had been cut, I was actually devastated.
Were
I was
you?
devastated, yes. I wanted so badly to kick this out with you, and then I'm like, oh, she killed it. And then I didn't even load it up, and then I'm chatting with you now. I'm like, we make the fucking rules around here, Liza.
Goddamn right.
That's right.
We can do 11 jams. I'm kicking it out. You had it, and then
Am
you
I the
dropped
first
it.
person to do 11 jams?
Probably
I
not.
think- ooh, I bet you are. I don't know. You're pretty good
I'm
at
going to
like.
assume I am.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
bet you
assume.
you're not. VP of Sales keeps track of all this. I'll bet you you're not the first person, but I do try to keep it to 10. But for fucking Liza Fromer, she can have 11. Tell us, just.
I mean, it's Lemmy who
Yeah.
show me another performer, anything like
Shout out
Lemmy.
to Really Funeral Home.
The way, like I said before, that this song there's no fucking around. You're just in. You're in.
There you go. You can't say that on breakfast television, right?
No, you cannot.
You guys say there's no messing around.
There's no messing around.
Yeah, no fucking around.
And it's a little, if you listen to the lyrics, I'm like, Lemmy's getting a little like Buddhist, a little bit kind of. It's like you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
It's all the same
It's
to
a
me.
great fucking single.
Doesn't matter.
And my
It's
heart
like
rate when I hear this
Ace
song,
of Spades.
which I
Yeah.
quite like, my heart rate, I can feel it. Like I'm ready to run through a wall right now.
Yes, exactly.
Like I want Rob Preuss to piss me off.
Piss you off. It'll never happen.
No, it'll never
happen.
fucking happen because you're a sweetheart. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. Yeah.
This is
fucking-
1980. This song.
1980, yeah.
Is it 80?
Yeah, I think so. I think I looked it up because I didn't know if it was an 80s song or if it was
Yeah,
late
yeah.
70s because it's all the same to me. It was like
It's
October
timeless.
1980.
Okay.
Yeah, great. I remember working at the CNE when Motorhead came, and I
Wow.
remember because I was working the game booth, and I
Yeah.
remember the Motorhead crowd and
Yeah.
the Lemmy fanatics, and there's a certain look in that crowd. I'm telling
I
you,
bet there
wow,
was.
I'm
what
sure.
what a night that
and
was.
that's like that era, like we were talking about before, where Q107 wouldn't play certain styles. The Motorhead crowd was not the same as the crowd that, like for me, in 1980, I was going to see Gary Newman.
Right.
Right?
and Q107 wouldn't touch Gary.
No,
Newman
definitely
at that
not.
time, 'cause they wouldn't touch anything with synthesizer.
No, but how cool that
And they had
these they all existed at the same
homophobic
time.
terms for these bands, by
Right,
the
of
way,
course,
as
of
you might
course.
remember here. But even U2 was given that
Yeah.
term.
Yep. Yep.
You know, and they would never play Duran Duran. But today you're gonna hear Duran Duran on Q107 today.
Because now
And
we
that's the-
realize-
that's the
Does
boom.
Q play Duran Duran?
Yeah, now they
I
do.
bet they do.
Yeah, the boomification. I've been watching this
Yeah.
closely. So when Boom had carved, they took a piece of the Q107 pie. Okay, they were eating Q107's fucking lunch. Okay, dessert and everything, and then Q107 changed their playlist to include more of those Boom type songs because Boom was playing the hell out of Duran Duran. So the boomification of Q107 means now they play U2 and the Police and.
Yeah.
And Duran Duran, absolutely.
But it's all good.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've all grown up to realize, well, we just love this weird variety of music. Like, I feel grateful to have grown up in those eras when all these songs would be on the top 40 at the same time, you know, like the
Yeah.
weirdest assortment of things. And we didn't think anything about it. We were like, if it's a good song and it's on the radio, then I'm going to learn to like it. There's certain
And
songs you don't like.
I feel like I could be doing a whole 10-song yacht rock
Yes, of course.
situation.
Would you do
I'm
that?
Like, I need a Michael McDonald in my
Yeah.
life.
Would you kick out your 10 favorite? You can even collaborate with Rob Preuss, and we can plan this.
Are
for
you a
the-
yacht
some-
rock person?
Yeah, of course. I don't
Okay.
even really call, we don't
You know
really
who's a
call
yacht
it
rock person? Tomorrow's guest is a yacht rock person.
Oh, is he?
That's,
Stu, yeah.
Stu Stone's a big yacht rock guy.
But to me, that music was just pop music.
Yes,
right?
100%.
It's sort of been categorized as yacht rock now.
We're almost there with Summer Breeze. That's almost
Yes,
yacht rock.
it
Yeah,
sure
Summer
is.
Breeze is
for
yacht
sure.
rock.
For sure.
Right. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. Let a bit of time go. Maybe in the summer, Liza Fromer comes back with Rob Preuss. You can each pick 5 yacht rock
Not
songs.
10 each? We'll do 5 each.
5 each.
Okay.
We're gonna do 5 each.
Okay.
Before we do final comments from each of you, because this was a very special episode that Liza Fromer got to kick out music she loves with her first music crush, Rob Preuss. I'm just going to let you guys know, even if you have your own guy or gal looking after your financial investments, or if you manage your own investment plans, I would love for you to subscribe to the Advantaged Investor podcast from Raymond James Canada. It provides the engaging wealth management information you value as you pursue your most important goals. You got your instructions there, and I'm not even done ordering you guys around. This one's particularly for Liza, who actually lives in this beautiful country. Rob doesn't live in Canada. Did you know that, Liza?
He's in New York.
He's an American now.
Yeah. Are you actually an American?
No, I have a green card, but
Okay.
I'm a Canadian.
He's got a green. I'm
Through and
dying
through.
now. I'm dying now. Okay, shout out to recyclemyelectronics.ca because Liza, if you have a drawer at home full of old cables or old devices or old electronics that you haven't thrown out yet, don't put it in the garbage. Those chemicals end up in our landfill. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca and find out a place near you can drop them off to be properly recycled. You got that, Liza Fromer?
I will do that.
All right, Liza. Well, maybe we'll start with Rob and we'll close with Liza. Rob,
Okay.
what was it like meeting such a talented, wonderful, like I said, media legend in this market?
Oh, yeah.
And she disclosed to me, not knowing I was friends with you, she disclosed that she loved this Rob Preuss guy who was with spoons. And now you're here. What was this like for you?
It was fantastic. It was super cool. Like, just cool to
So
meet
fun.
you because, like, not having known, I don't know if I've ever seen you on like any of the shows that you've done, but I sort of recognized your name though. So
Because you were in New York.
I guess because I was in New York and I've been in New York for
Because you
21
couldn't
years.
miss her if you were in the GTA.
Exactly. But it's been fun. It's been super cool.
It's been the best. It's been such, I've been thinking about it and just
We almost did this last month, right? You remember?
Yeah,
you and I thought this was last month.
You thought it was last month.
we both weirdly, Mike and I, both had
January
the day
23rd.
wrong.
We thought it was January 22 or whatever.
Yep.
Or maybe it was 23. Maybe
think
it was 23. So
we
we
were
thought it was
just so
January
excited.
23. And I remember I loaded up the jams thinking Liza's coming over tomorrow with
you
Rob.
mentioned it. Yeah.
And then I had this weird memory in the back of my mind that, I don't think Rob's in Canada right now. Like something didn't add up. So I went through our email thread.
Yeah.
And I saw we made it for February, but I thought it was January, and I was just checking in. I don't know if Liza letting her know, and then Liza
tweeted something.
Oh,
Yes.
I tweeted.
I think that's what it was.
I think I said it on the podcast and tweeted tomorrow. Liza Fromer's here with Rob Preuss, and Liza thought it was tomorrow too. This is in January, and I think Liza was going to be at my door.
No, I
for 2 p.m.
100%
Really? You were
would
gonna
have been
show
at
up?
your door.
Wow.
But I was going to be ready for you. I was going to have your jams ready, and we would have everything but Rob Preuss, and it was just luck that
I had been
clued in.
at dinner the night before saying,
Saying I'm going to be hanging with Rob Preuss tomorrow.
Oh,
I
wow.
did with my kids. I said, you know how there's a musician you love right now. Imagine in 30 years you get to hang out with them.
40 years.
40
Liza, there's a
years from
request.
now.
There's a request
Hit me.
on the live stream.
Yeah.
Because Rob, you've already committed to being at this event. Okay, there is a TMLX 15. That's the 15th Toronto Mike Listener Experience. It's happening June 27 from 6 to 9 p.m. here in Southern Etobicoke at Great Lakes Brewery. Rob Preuss is making the drive from New York to be there for this 15th.
I should bring a keyboard too, shouldn't I?
Yeah, bring a fucking
There should be
keyboard.
something- we should
you
have a
should be
sing-along.
playing, yes.
Yeah.
So wait, what is all this? What is it?
I'm telling you, Liza Fromer, that you need to get your calendar, get your phone open, get in that calendar and say from 6 to 9 p.m. on June 27th, you're going to be at Great Lakes Brewery in Southern Etobicoke because that's where TMLX 15 is happening and Rob's going to be there and he's going to have his keyboard and you've got to be there too. And that's
We're selfie-ing.
Thank you.
He took a photo,
Sorry.
everybody. I'm going to fix that in post. I'm going to fix that in post. But I want to say Leslie is very excited about the Yacht Rock with Liza and Rob.
Yeah.
She's in heaven, she says. Oh my God, she wrote. Who else?
We need to do some, the Doobies. We need to do, who else is going to be on the Yacht Rock?
Well, anything from 1970 to
Ambrosia?
1977. Yep.
Do you remember Ambrosia? They'll be on there.
Yep.
They're going to be on there. And Canada Kev says he can donate a keyboard, Rob, if you need one. So we could.
What's
hook
the
that up.
date?
June 27.
June
2024 from 6 to 9 p.m. at Great Lakes Brewery in Southern Etobicoke, down the street from the Costco on Queen Elizabeth Boulevard. Down the street from the Costco. Down the street from the Costco.
Toronto Mike.
TMLX 15. TMLX 15.
all right.
That stands for Toronto Mike Listener Experience. TMLX 15. Is a Kong SP 280 okay? Korg. He wrote Kong. I read my
Korg.
eyes. I need glasses like you guys, okay?
Korg is fantastic.
He's also got the doobies, okay?
Yeah.
So, wow.
Who has the Doobies? Now we have the beer and the Doobies and lasagna.
Well,
and
Great
a keyboard,
Lakes.
and you got a lasagna and the Great Lakes. Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna be. So you'll be fed. Paul Mapasta is gonna feed you on June 27th. Oh yeah, Christopher Cross is a big
Christopher
rocker.
Cross.
Absolutely sailing away there.
Love.
Not to be confused with Canadian rockers. Was it Red Cross? With a K? There was a Canadian rock band called Red Cross.
There was an
I think,
LA
and
band called Red Cross. There was the Hippity Hoppers, Crisscross, were those little
Crisscross.
kids? Those
Yeah,
kids, yes.
Absolutely. Kenny Loggins, of course, will be
Yes.
on your Yacht Rock playlist.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to having you guys back in the summer. And before that, I'll probably see you at TMLX 15. But guys, I love bringing you together like
Thank
this.
you
We
for
got to take
doing
some
it.
photos.
Thank
It's been
you
amazing.
for doing this.
Yes,
so
thank you
good
for doing
to
it.
meet you.
All right, get a room, you two.
Oh my God.
Maybe in Paris
That's right. With a swatter.
with a squatter and a swatter. Okay. And remember, Rob is not available. Should we tell her now or later that you're not available?
You already mentioned it.
Okay, because
Not available for.
to date you, I feel like this was a love connection.
I didn't know that
No.
we were also doing
That's right.
doing 1980s dating
Exactly.
Well,
shows.
because
That's right.
earlier, that's why I asked you if you were available. I didn't know. Maybe you had a
dating
steady
game.
or something. I was trying to put matchmake here. Okay, well, now I have to date Liza Fromer.
That's right. That's right.
I'll take one for the team.
We'll let your wife know.
That's right.
She won't be listening. And that brings us to the end of our 1,435th show. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm at Toronto Mike. Okay, Rob, we always say you're Rob Preuss with an X at the end.
Yeah.
And you're all over the place with Rob Preuss with an X at the end. So, Liza, what's the best way to follow what's happening with you?
I think Twitter, Instagram, at Liza Fromer.
Find Liza Fromer. She's easy to find.
Yeah.
Much love to all who made this possible. Again, that's Great Lakes Brewery. That's Palma Pasta. That's recyclemyelectronics.ca. That's Raymond James Canada. And that's Ridley Funeral Home. I'm recording a new episode of Life's Undertaking with Brad Jones in exactly an hour and 10 minutes.
Really?
Brad's going to be here. Yeah, you should stick around. You can
Shout
meet
out
the
to
great-
Ridley Funeral Home.
Wow.
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. See you all tomorrow. And my special guest is some guy named Stu Stone. See you then.
Yeah, I wonder who. Maybe the one who doesn't realize there's 1,000 shades of gray. 'Cause I know that's true, yes I do. I know it's true, yeah. I know it's true. How about you? Oh, they're picking up trash and they're putting down roads. And they're brokering stocks, the class struggle explodes. And I'll play this guitar just the best that I can.
We had food growing up and we were used to being able to eat. But then all of a sudden, we needed that help. That's why the food bank is here. They're here to help you and they're here to help you.
The food bank is for anyone who needs one. Visit the food bank near you to help and be helped.
Well, I've kissed you in France and I've kissed you in Spain. And I've kissed you in places I better not name. And I've seen the sun go down on Shakra